Good evening, everybody, and welcome to The Code, and then later on The Escape Artist. Royal Flush's midweek game night. Lovely to have you all here. Hope you're well. Sorry for the slightly delayed start. It turns out even after 50 episodes, because this is the 50th episode, woohoo, I guess, even after 50 episodes, I still can't work all the sound stuff, which is ridiculous. And thanks to Ash and Egg and Score and Matt for coming in and helping save the day. Which is still not right, because I can still hear people even though I'm deafened in Discord, so I just had to respectfully say, can everyone keep themselves muted? And they've actually just nipped out now, so it's all a big mess. And then I realised, if you look at the, you've got starting soon and starting soon there, they're not quite aligned, so they've come slightly unstuck, which is very annoying. So that's something I'm going to have to look at. Anyway, we're changing the overlay for Season 2. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, big secret. Anyway, it's great to have you here. I hope you're all well, and I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little bit stressy, and I'm sorry I'm 10 minutes late. Lovely to have you all, and I hope you're keeping well. Good evening to Hallie and Cetra, Carl the 7th, Shattermain, Egg Fried Cheese, Matt the Ref, Clive the Legend, Drahuska, Dr. Mummy, Persephone's Twitchbot, Keshi Head, Cola, Nightbot, Connor, Arnfetz, Puzzle Dan, M3 Times, Ramsey, Fox, Abney, G. Eisens, Danny Boy, Random Zombie, and anyone else who is in the chat who hasn't made themselves known yet. It is great to have you on. I hope you are all ready to play The Code tonight. Thank you for that subscription party of me. Maybe popping in and out on the stream, but still hyped for month 3 and season 2 coming soon. Thank you very much indeed, party of me. It's great to have you with us, and I hope you enjoyed the stream, what you can catch of it. So we're going to play The Code for an hour or so. I'm going to play it by ear because The Code is a very... It's a game that can vary in terms of time length. It can be a 5-minute game or it could be a 50-minute game. So depends how we all get on. Hello, Samster. Good evening. Welcome to the stream. We'll determine when we switch over because the Escape Artist is pretty set in stone, and there are 2 question packs, one from David J. Bodycom and then a second from me. Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription, Cola. That's really very kind of you indeed. Thank you for continuing to support this channel. It's very much appreciated. And I'm also very much aware that Dylan started back at school today. I say back at school, started at secondary school today. So we're trying this new thing where we have good routines and like be in bed by 10 o'clock or shortly afterwards, watch one episode of Castle and then go to sleep, because we're all doing this routine where we're getting up at like 6:30 or something. So I'm trying to keep the stream to finish at 10, which means as soon as we hit 9 o'clock, that's going to be the end of the The Code and moving to the next one, The Escape Artist, which means I should probably stop jabbering on and I should open this lobby. So if you want to come and play the game, you need to enter some sort of code and you'll be dragged into the lobby. If for whatever reason you haven't got a microphone, because remember you do need a microphone to play in the hot seat in this game, if you haven't got a microphone, you can type !exclude. You will be added to the exclusion list. You can add yourself, but you can't take yourself off. But you must have a microphone and be able to come into the Discord, which if you are not in already, you can come and join it right there. Good evening, Brig. Good evening, Anosep. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, pop your way over there if you're not already, and you can you'll be able to come and have a chat with me. So this is a game for either 1, 2 or 3 players. The computer will pick some at random. The jackpot is currently 7,500. Hasn't been won for a little while because we had 500 every time somebody fails to win the jackpot. And these are all community written questions. I'm very grateful to the people who've sent extra questions over the last few days to bulk it out a bit. The question difficulty has recently been more on the difficult side, I think, so I'm hoping some of these questions will go some way towards balancing out the amount of questions that we're going to get, the difficulty of questions. And good evening, Scorecount and all the Outcast, Lingo Maniac, Applecast 12, welcome to the stream. Great to have you here. I'll give you just a few more seconds to join the lobby and then we're going to lock it up and pick some players. My Stream Deck's working as well. I figured out what the problem was. It's having too many buttons on the hotkey, so it's having like Control plus Shift plus F2 turns out too many buttons for it to handle at this end for some reason. So now everything is a single hotkey, so I'm not allowed to touch my keyboard. Right, nearly there. I wait till the end of this loop and then I'll lock the lobby and see who's coming to play. And remember, no Googling, no computers aiding, it's just your brains versus the brains of the rest of the community. I think this loop is nearly done. Oh, I thought it was done there. Can you put things on keyboard that aren't your like F15? Yeah, you can do that with the hotkey shortcut class in Unity, but I don't actually have an F15 keyboard and just hook it up in Stream Deck. If I haven't got an F15 button to press, it has to be bound to a physical key. So It's okay. It all seems to be working now, and at some point I might go to try a middle ground and try 2 keybinds and see if that makes it any better. But for now, we'll stick with 1, and I'll just avoid the keyboard. Right, that's enough players. If you're not picked, remember you can play along in the lobby, but once you are wrong, you're out of the game until I fix that and make it so that you're not completely out of the game. But for now, let's lock the lobby and find out who's going to be coming to play the first game of the Code tonight. There's 2 of you. And we are going to be having Connor M27 and M3 times. Welcome to both of you. The vault will now lock. It will pick a code, and the objective of your game is to try and crack the code. Let's keep spoilers out of chat. And yes, no complaining about the RNG or the difficulty. And if you're playing in the lobby, you need to make sure you're whispering your answers to Persephone's Twitch bot. So M3 times and Connor, if you would like to come and join the green room. I see M3 times there, and hopefully Connor will be along shortly as well. There's Connor. Extra's going to get you sound tested, and while he does that, I'm just going to unmute you and probably undeafen myself. Oh, I am undeafened. Oh, good. That's all right then. Is that what the problem was? Is Persephone is deafened? Persephone should not be deafened, or should she be deaf? I don't even know. I can't do sound. Oh, and now my stream has stopped. Yeah, I'm running the stream off Google Edge tonight to see if it improves the frame rate in the escape artist, so I've been able to actually close Google Chrome down, but the payoff from that is that I'm having to use Microsoft Edge for viewing the stream, and that is apparently freezing all the while, but there we go. Connor, M3 times, welcome to the game. I can't hear you. Stream, first of all, can you hear them? Say something else, Connor and M3 times. No, they can't. I'm not deafened. Right, hang on. Stand by. Where's Discord Canary gone? Where has Discord Canary gone? Oh, for God's sake. That's what I need on the 50th one. Discord Canary. Why is it deafened? Oh, no, don't open that. Ah! Right, that was deafened. Right, she's now undeafened. Let me try that again. M3 times and Connor, good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
There we go. I've got sound and the stream has got sound. I don't know what's going on with my sound tonight. Apparently I've forgotten how to sound. But there we go. Welcome to you both. Have you both played the Code before?
I've seen one episode.
Yeah. M3 times has seen 1 episode, and Connor, you have played before. So the rules are simple. The further on you go, the harder the game becomes. You're given all 3 answers. It's all multiple choice. There are 3 answers given to you at the start. In the first section of the game, you will be shown all 3 questions, and you need to decide which one is true and which 2 are false. As the game progresses, it becomes more difficult, and you only get some information. You have to make a decision without seeing everything. Every time you get a correct answer, or you find a correct answer, you get a chance to search for a digit of your code. There are no repeats in your code number, yeah, it should be good. You happy to play?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Fantastic. In which case, let's get the show on the road and look at the first set of questions.
Right.
The answers are, by the Sleepy Lagoon, barrels, rooks and queens. I would ask if you could keep the discussion to a minimum until after the Twitch audience have had a chance to have their say. Twitch audience, all the instructions are given by Persephone's Twitch bot, which is who you need to whisper to. The questions are, each day's final broadcast of the shipping forecast is traditionally preceded by which tune? Question B, what are made and repaired by a cobbler? And question C, in chess, what are the heavy pieces? Twitch audience, you need to whisper which one you think is true to Persephone's Twitch, but you've got about 20 seconds and your time starts now. Whispering A, B or C to Persephone's Twitch bot, whichever one you think is true. Thank you to Clive of Legend, Egg Fried Cheese and Cetra for these questions. And my dog has a lot to say tonight as well, apparently.
What a dog.
And Twitch audience, your time is up. Connor and M3 times, over to you. What do you think?
Well, I know for a fact that B is incorrect because I believe a cobbler makes shoes, and I think it was a cooper, I think. So, but I know B is incorrect.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about chess, so I can't really say what the heavy pieces are.
Neither can I, really. And A, I'm not too sure on about either, because I don't listen to the shipping forecast. I've got no need to.
I don't even know what the shipping forecast is.
The only thing I know about the shipping forecast, it's on BBC Radio 4, I think.
I've honestly never heard the song by the Sleepy Lagoon for me to actually kind of make some connection. I think I'm having a strong gravitational pull to A. What do you think?
I'm trying to think how big the rooks and the queens are to see if that correlates with their weight.
What? If you're going by size, I feel like the king is bigger than the rook. Because isn't the rook just basically the like little cylindrical tower thing over a castle? I don't know how to describe that, but
I think it is, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the king is just like a very big crown on top.
What are we thinking then, guys? We got a decision.
I'm sticking with A. What do you think, Connor?
Let's go with it. Let's go with A. I've got no other ways to go on this one. Let's go A.
Would you like me to lock in A as your answer?
Yeah.
Okay. It's locked in. Computer, can you please reveal, is A the correct answer? Oh! Not, I'm afraid. No. It's not. Bad luck out on the first question. This is a pretty ruthless game. The correct answer, what are you expecting to see?
Choose on B.
It was, in fact, C, rooks and queens. The answer to B, what did you suggest M3 times that is made by a cobbler?
I said a cobbler makes and repairs shoes.
Certainly does.
Yeah.
And yes, you were quite right that it is a cooper who makes barrels. I know that because I grew up in Burton-on-Trent, which is a cooper brewing town. As A, each day's final broadcast of the shipping forecast is traditionally preceded by which tune? It is Sailing By. Sailing By. So, yes, in chess, the heavy pieces are indeed the rooks and the queens. So, bit of a tough fortune, but you've been out-survived by Keshi, Egg, Drahuska, Clive Legend, Brig, Hallion, Cola, Carr, Cetra, Anisep, Lingomaniac, and Ramsey Fox. What I will do, guys, I will add you to the exclusion list for the next game, but take you off thereafter, so there might be another chance for you to come and play a bit later on tonight, but you still got the Escape Artist from 9 o'clock. Sorry it's been a short game, but I hope you had fun.
I certainly did.
Thank you, guys.
Did I.
I will hopefully speak to you a bit later on. But for now, Connor and M3 times. So we're going to have a look at the leaderboard. No changes there. Clive and Ash still atop 5,500. We will add another 500 points to that leaderboard. But for now, let's reset the game. So, short-lived appearance there from Connor N27 and M3 times, who I have temporarily added to the exclusion list. We are going to add another £500 to this jackpot, but first of all, let's open up the lobby and invite you back in. Jackpot has gone up to 8,000. That is what you are playing for. Come and join the lobby for another chance to crack the code. And remember, !exclude into the chat if you want to self-exclude for if you don't have a microphone, for example. Milk Like Substance, SW Yellowtail, DMMJRB, welcome to the stream. A reminder that if you want to play this game, you do need to have a microphone with a decent connection. A couple more seconds just to come and join, and then we'll get the game underway. Okay. I think that's enough time. Let's lock it up and see who's coming to play game number 2. Another dynamic duo, 2 players, and they are Clive of Legend and Hallion, a formidable duo if ever I heard one. Hallion, who recently won £1 million. Clive, who came 3rd in the latest episode of The Escape Artist and a general all-round knowledgeable chap. We could be in for a good one here. Let's see if we can get them into the game. Clive and Hallian, if you'd like to make your way down towards the green room. I see a Hallian in there. And I see a Clive of Legend in there. Egg is just going to get you sound tested, and then we will get this game underway. 40 viewers. Lovely to have you, 40 viewers. 40 on a Tuesday is pretty good, actually. Thank you, everybody, for your continued support of this channel as we reach the 50th episode, which I've allowed to pass without ceremony, because we sort of had my birthday stream the week before last, and new shows and end of season on approach. So the 50th is sort of going out without any sort of ceremony or anything. But thank you, everybody, for your continued support. It is great to have you here. Oh, and the stream has crashed again, but hopefully not completely. Just the broadcast at my end. That's the other thing that I can guarantee is going to happen tonight, is that the internet will mess itself and die at some point. Clive, Hallian, welcome to the game, my friends.
Hello.
I hear a Hallian. Do I hear a Clive?
Hello.
Here he is. So, two great minds. No, not the stream, Yellowtail, just my broadcast on Microsoft Edge had a funny moment. But yes, two formidable minds. I think you're both quite knowledgeable fellows. How are you feeling about taking on the code?
Seeing as I've already beaten it once.
I'm looking forward to it.
Brimming with confidence.
Clive bringing with confidence, and Hallian looking forward to it. Yes, of course, Clive, you are top of the leaderboard, but if you win with Hallian, you would displace yourself and replace yourself with yourself, and you would displace Ash with Hallian. But you would still be there. But that is what we're looking forward to. The very best of luck to you all. 8,000 points says you can't crack the code. Let's have a look at your first set of questions. Options are South Pole, 8 memes at the ready, and dabbing. Again, keep the chatter to a minimum until the Twitch audience have had a chance to answer. Questions are: around what geographical place is the flag of the United Nations centred? Question B: in a rugby union, the player who puts the ball into the scrum will generally wear which number? And question C: in competitive climbing, what term is used for overstepping the boundaries of the set boulder course? Those are your 3 questions. Twitch audience, you've got about 20 seconds to get your answers in. Now, whispering to the bot, either A, B or C, which one do you think is true? Whichever answer you think is true, whisper that letter to the bot before your time runs out. Okay, Twitch audience, your time is up. Clive and Hallian, what are you thinking?
I know nothing about competitive climbing, but I'm pretty certain that the UN flag centers on the North Pole. What about you, Clive?
I'll take your word for it. I don't know what I thought. I just thought it was a regular Mercator map upside down, but I'm terrible on flags. So don't listen to me. Do you know anything about rugby union?
I don't know if he puts the ball into the scrum, but I know his position. But I know there is a position just called number 8.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't tell you anything about B or C. So if you have a strong gut feeling, I'd go with it.
I'm leaning toward B.
All right, you want to go for it? Sounds good to me.
Yeah, let's go for B.
Shall I lock in B as your answer, chaps?
Lock it in.
Okay. We've locked in B. Computer, can you please reveal, is B the correct answer? It's not. Another pair falling at the first hurdle here. Guys, I'm so sorry. It's not B. And also sort of Party of Me, Cover 7th, Ramsey Fox, DMM, Connor, Puzzle Dan, M 3 times, Arden Fets, Milk Like Substance, Samster, Random Zombie, Egg Fried Cheese, Dr. Mummy, Brig Bother, Shadow May, Matt, and Keshi. Blimey. What are you expecting to see when I press the button again?
Hopefully C.
Let's have a look. Yes, it was. Cola, Lingo, Applecast, Rahuska, Anasep, etc. And thanks to Cola and Applecast for these questions. You were intimating that A might be what, Hallian?
North Pole.
Absolutely right. As to B, in rugby union, the player who puts the ball into the scrum will generally wear which number? Any ideas?
None.
None at all. Let's have a look.
A number between 1 and 15.
It is. It's number 9, in fact. Not number 8, but number 9. So, bad luck to you two again falling at the first hurdle. So, unfortunately, you are going to be cracking the code tonight. Again, I will add you to the freeze out for the next game, but thereafter, I won't add you to the exclusion list. So, sorry, it's been a short attempt, but hopefully you've enjoyed the experience all the same.
Real.
Thanks very much, guys. We'll see you another time.
Later.
So, Clive of Legend and Hallion could not crack the code either. Can anyone crack the code? We'll add another 500 and we'll see if 8,500 says that you can't. Let's reset the game. So adding Clive of Legend and Hallion to the exclusion list. We're going to add another £500 to this. Is anyone going to have a chance at cracking the code? Let's open up the lobby. So add another £500 to the jackpot. We're at 3,500. And yes, we have got new questions in here. Exclamation mark exclude if you would like to self-exclude from the game. It's a tough game. This is what I mean. We need some more, a bit more, maybe more run-of-the-mill, general knowledge-y questions. I think there's quite a lot of esoteric knowledge going on in here at the moment. Yeah. A reminder, once again, that you do need to have a microphone if you want to play this game. If you don't have a microphone, you can self-exclude by typing exclamation mark exclude. That just means you won't be added, you won't be drawn into the hot seat play, but you can still play along in the lobby. Right. I'll wait for this string sting to finish, and then we will pick another team of players. 3 at this time. 3 players. We've got DMM, Dr. Mummy, and Samster. Another 3 quite formidable brains coming to attempt to crack the code. We're going to lock up the vault. And DMM, Dr. Mummy, and Samster, if you'd like to make your way towards the green room where you can be sound tested, and then your game can begin. I see all 3 of you in the green room. And I will just give you a second to get sound tested, and then we'll get the game underway. In terms of players, this might be the most we've ever had in a single go. I mean, it's not even 8:30. It's only just 8:30 with 7 players in the game. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 pairs. Dave, Dr. Mummy, and Samsa, good evening to the 3 of you.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Lovely to have you here. Now, I don't know if you guys have played before. Samsa, I have a feeling you might have played before?
No, I've never played this, believe it or not.
No, you've never played it?
Never made it in. Nope,
Dave
time.
and Dr. Mummy, is it first time for you?
Yeah, first time for me.
Yeah, it's first time.
Wow. Well, you've seen how the format works, or at least the first question. Hopefully, your 3 brains will be able to get us past question number 1 and maybe even a little bit further. The very best of luck to you all. Let's have a look at your first board of questions. Options are Tuna, Venus, and Nightlight. The questions are: an elver is the young of which fish? Question B. A 15th century painting by Sandro Botticelli depicts which Roman goddess on a scallop shell? And question C. What does bossa nova mean in Portuguese? Chatter to a minimum. Let's give the Twitch audience a chance. And Twitch audience, your time starts now. 20 seconds, A, B, or C. An elver is the young of which fish? A 15th century painted by Sandro Botticelli depicts which Roman goddess on a scallop shell? And what does bossa nova mean in Portuguese? Egg fried cheese, 8 Minky, and Cassini, we're very grateful to you for these 3 questions. DMM, Dr. Mummy, Samster, what do you think?
I think it's B.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so an elver is the young of an eel,
Yeah.
and bossa nova. Nova is new beat, maybe, for C.
That would make sense, yeah. And it's the birth of Venus, isn't it, for B? So
Yeah, that's right.
I'm happy with that.
Would you like me to lock
it
in
in.
B as your answer?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, it's locked in. Computer, can you please reveal for us, is B the correct answer? Absolutely right. Yes, well done. A 15th century painting by Sandro Botticelli does indeed depict Venus on a scallop shell. We've got a correct answer. But we have seen off DJ Hero, Cetra, Egg Fried Cheese, and Hallion falling to that question. You suggested that an elver is actually the young of
Eel.
an eel. Absolutely is. And bossa nova in Portuguese, not nightlight. You thought it might mean
Not style. New style, probably.
new style or new beat. Let's have a look. Yes, new trend, new style. So very, very well done there. Venus was the correct answer. And you get your first opportunity to look for a digit in your code. How exciting. So, where would you like to start?
I don't mind. I'll defer to you two with this one.
Should we start with number 8?
Yeah, that works for the memes.
Get the meme out of the way. Let's have a look and see. Is there an 8 in your code? So we're going to spin around. As Brig has pointed out, I was about to say you've had more trouble deciding a digit than you did on the question. There's no 8 in the first box. How about in the second? Nothing in the second. What about box number 3? Is there an 8 there? There is not. So no 8s in your code, but that's fine because it's early doors. It means the question difficulty stays as it is. So we found one question. Let's have a look and see how you get on with this second board. Answers are smell, Chirosis by the sea, and Stuart. Options are aguisia is the loss of which sense? Question B. David Niven and Errol Flynn once lived together in which house, named for their booze-heavy lifestyles? And question C. Which J, more famous as a game show producer, wrote the screenplay for the 2002 film The Count of Monte Cristo? Twitch audience, I'm going to give you about 20 seconds to decide which of those is the correct answer. Your time starts now. Whispering to the bot, A, B, or C. And we're grateful to Clive of Legend and Kusani Hexku for these questions. Just a few seconds left. DMM, Dr. Mummy, and Samster, we come to you then. Which of these are you thinking is the truth?
I don't think it's A, because as I remember, aguisia is a lot of taste.
Yeah, and Osmia is a loss of smell, so it's definitely not A. Definitely not A. I don't really know between B and C, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Anyone have any inklings at all?
I mean, B is plausible.
Yeah, I was thinking that B sounded realistic, because cirrhosis is obviously a liver disease, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, is it pronounced cirrhosis?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a soft C. Oh, how highly embarrassing for me. I called it chirosis. Cirrhosis, that does sound like it makes slightly more sense.
I'd be more inclined to go for B, just because I feel like it's harder to make up a fake answer for, but...
Okay.
We'll just clarify that there is a fake. All of the questions that are submitted for this game all have got a fake and a real pairing,
okay.
Just to point it out. So it's not just picking ones that only have answers. So everything has got a real and a fake answer. Just in case your decision is being swayed by the technicalities of the game.
I don't know. The only thing is, I agree that B is a kind of sensible-ish sounding answer. So
Sounds about right to me, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Would you like me to lock in B, or are you going to ponder it a little more?
Do you have any objections, Dr. Mummy, or should we go for B?
So I have no idea about B or C, because I... so... honestly... so... gosh...
We'll take a punt at B then, I think.
I'll go for B. Shall I lock B in as your answer?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, it's locked. Okay, computer, can you please reveal for us, is B the correct answer?
Come on, please.
Yes, it is. Good logic there. A good hunch. Seenoff, Car the Seventh, Yellowtail, Lingermaniac, Ramsey Fox, Anisette, Brigbother, Puzzledown, Kashi Head, Cola, Milk-like Substance, and Drahuska. Bad luck losing out on that question. Now, you suggested Aguija was not the loss of smell, but was in fact the loss of something. Shall we have a look? Taste. It was taste. And as to see which Jay, more famous as a game show producer, wrote the screenplay for the 2002 film The Crown of Monte Cristo, wasn't Jay Stewart, was in fact Jay Walpert, or Walper. And yes, Cassie telling out anosmia is the loss of smell. So you found the right answer, cirrhosis by the sea. I'm genuinely curious, and maybe Clive can enlighten us as to what the false answer there might have been, because I don't think I can reveal it since it's already been revealed. But hopefully Clive will be able to give us something on that. And in the meanwhile, chaps, you've got another chance to look for a digit in your code. So, what would you like to look for next?
Dr. Murray, do you want to pick?
Okay. So, my favorite number is 7, so let's pick 7.
Okay, let's have a look and see. Is there a 7 in your code? We've looked for the 8. We're now looking for the 7. Isn't one in the first box? We're going to look in the second box. Is there one there? There is not. How about in box number 3? Have we got a 7 in box 3? No cigar, no 7s in the code. That's okay, so the game format stays the same, and we go on to question board number 3. Answers are 14, coat, Venn diagram, and we've still got Clive, Matt, Shadowmane, Ardenfetz, Dogfish, Abney, and Party of Me. Questions are: how many sides does a hexagonal antiprism have? Question B: what item, useful in the rain, provided the title of a hit single of Rihanna? And question C: in genetics, what chart is used to predict the genotypes of a breeding experiment? Twitch chat, you've got about 20 seconds. Your time starts now. Remaining players: Clive, Matt, Shadowmane, Ardenfetz, Dogfish, Abney, and Party of Me, whispering A, B, or C. Which do you think is the truth? And very grateful to Apple Cars, Egg Fried Cheese, and 8 Minky for these 3 here questions. Just a couple of seconds left. And that is your time up. So, DMM, Dr. Mummy, and Samster, what are your thoughts?
Well, I know one it's not.
Yeah, I know B and C, so I think it's got to be A, because B is umbrella, and C I think is a Punnett square. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, so, I don't know what it is, but Venn diagram doesn't sound right, so no. I'm happy with A.
Do you want to lock in A as your answer?
Yeah.
By process of elimination, yeah, I think it's got to be A.
By process of elimination, let's lock in A. Computer, it's that time again. Can you please reveal, is A the truth? Yes, it is. Yay. 14 sides in an antiprism. Only Shadowmane falling victim to that question there. As to the other 2, what did you suggest Rihanna had to help keep her dry?
Umbrella.
She did have an umbrella. And as to C, not a Venn diagram, but what chart is used to predict the genotypes of a breeding experiment?
A Punnett square.
It's a Punnett square. It certainly is a Punnett square. Nicely done.
Yeah. Well done.
So, you look for an 8, it wasn't there. You look for a 7, it wasn't there. What are we going to look for next?
Should we get rid of the 9 and make that line just disappear? Is that okay?
Yeah.
We're going to complete the line and look for a 9. Is there a 9 in your code? Let's have a look. So at this point, statistically unlikely to miss all 3, but it's not in box number 1. So I think you are statistically likely to have found at least 1 by a 3rd search. Let's have a look in box number 2. No, nothing in box number 2. One more chance. Is there a 9 in box number 3? No 9s in your code either. You have completed that row, and nothing to show for it. But that does mean the game format stays exactly the same, and you've still got 6 players that you're fighting against in the lobby. So, if you're ready, it's your 4th board. Let's have a look at what the answers are. Landscapes, Midland, and right. And the questions are: for what type of paintings was Sir Joshua Reynolds famous? Question B. Which bank advertised itself as the Listening Bank? And question C. On which side did Musical Youth pass the Duchy in 1982? Twitch audience, you've got about 20 seconds. Your time starts now. And we're very grateful to Keshi and to Cola Cola for these questions. Thank you very much. Why are you buzzing at me? It's probably just a thing that's happened there. Yes, it was. Yeah. Okay, that's your time up, Twitch audience. DMM, Dr. Mummy, and Samster Samster, your thoughts, if you please.
Well, I know C is incorrect.
C's left, isn't it?
C is left.
Don't know A or B.
A is incorrect too, as I remember. He never painted landscapes.
Okay. That works for me. It must be B then.
Yeah.
I'm happy to go for B.
You want
Because I remember he is a painter.
Would you like me to lock in B as your answer?
Yeah, B.
Yep.
It's locked in. Okay, so for the 4th time, computer, can you please tell us, is B the truth? Yes, it is. Well done. Eliminating their party of me, Dogfish, and Clive of Legend, losing out to those questions from Keshi and Cola. And good evening to Dogfish, David J. Bodcom, and Ashley Bash, who've joined us in the chat. Lovely to have you here. I hope you're keeping well and having a splendid evening. As to the other answers, on which side did Musical Youth pass the Duchy in 1982? Not on the right, but it was in fact
The left-hand side.
yes, it was indeed the left. As to the top one, for what type of paintings was Sir Joshua Reynolds famous? Dr. Mummy, you had an inkling here.
Yeah, painter, yes, paint.
Well, he's a painter, but not landscapes. Let's have a look and see what it was. Portraits! Yes, he was a portrait artist rather than a landscape artist. So, you've found another correct answer, which means you get to hunt for another digit of your code. That row has been eliminated, 7, 8, and 9. Where are you going to next?
Shall we clear another row? Shall we get rid of the 0?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look and see, is there a 0 in your code?
There has to be, surely.
I'm going to have a little spin around. And not in the first box.
Okay.
How about in the second? Still no zeros.
Oh.
Could there be a 0 in box number 3? Aha!
Yay.
Yes, there is. You have found the first digit of your code. It is a 0 in box number 3. Nicely done. So, at this point, we can end that question. At this point, the game becomes a little bit more challenging because you get to see all 3 answers, but you only get to see 2 of the questions before you can make a decision. So you can have a little chat about which answers you'd like to see, but try and keep it as relatively spoiler-free as you can, just so that the Twitch audience can still have a fair stab at it. Let's have a look at question board number 5. We've got Matt the Ref, Ardenfetz, and Abmi still in, and Abmi is 1 up, having found a 0 for his code. The answers are the greatest, the Mayans, and shredded wheat. Now, which 2 of those questions would you like to have a look at?
Any inklings? I don't know a lot about the Mayans. I feel like I could probably have an educated guess about the other 2 a bit more, but...
Yeah, the Mines is the one I like the least. I'm happy to leave that.
Okay, so you want to see A and C?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes.
let's have a look at them. Question A. The video to which 2014 Sia song featured the then 11-year-old dancer Maddie Ziegler wearing a medium-length blonde wig. And question C. What was the world's first breakfast cereal? Twitch audience, just like the contestants in the hot seats, you now need to decide which is the truth based on the information you have. A, B or C. One of them is the truth, two of them are lies, and your time starts now. The video to which 2014 Sia song featured the then 11-year-old dancer Maddie Ziegler wearing a medium-length blonde wig. Was it the greatest? The answer to question B is the Mayans, but we don't know the question. And question C, what was the world's first breakfast cereal? Was it shredded wheat? Thank you to Kola and Keshi for these questions. Matt, Ardenfetz and Abney are out of time. Gentlemen, what do you think?
So, honestly, I don't know about this. All of them.
Kind of think A could be chandelier rather than.
Yeah, chandelier.
So I recognise the idea of the video, and I've never heard of the greatest. But
And see, I'm kind of thinking muesli's possibly an earlier invention than shredded wheat.
that could work, yeah. So are we saying that A and C are both wrong potentially? I don't know.
Yes. So it's not A.
I mean, it could be A, but I've got a feeling it's not A. And usually, what do you say? What you thought it was muesli? Perhaps a C.
Perhaps, yeah. Just because shredded wheat kind of feels a bit more manufactured.
Yeah, I could see that. Should we risk saying B then as the right answer?
Yeah, let's try.
Let's do that.
Would you like to lock in B as your answer?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Reluctantly.
let's lock it in. And now, of course, we do have to have a look at the question to see if you feel the same level of confidence after you've locked it in, after we've seen the question. So let's have a look at question B. Which group ruled ancient Peru?
Oh, it's wrong. I guess.
How do you feel about that?
I guess it seems. Probably.
Well,
I'm not sure.
I think it's the Incas, but
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's mines or ink.
Well, let's find
mines
out.
were Mexican.
Computer, can we please reveal, is B the truth? No, it's not, I'm afraid. Up to question board number 5, and that is the end of the road for you three. A valiant effort, absolutely valiant, finding one of your code digits from 5 question boards. It does mean Abney and Matt the ref are also eliminated, which means there was one player left who I now can't remember because it doesn't update it. As to the correct answer, what are you expecting it to be?
I think it's probably A then in that case.
We could say,
I think you're very
let's have a
plausible
look.
with C.
Was it A?
Oh,
Oh, wow.
wow.
It was C. Shredded wheat was in fact the first cereal, and Ardenfetz survives the lobby. Congratulations to you. So, the answers to reveal. A, the Sia song featuring Maddie Ziegler in a medium-length blonde wig. What did you think that was?
I mean, I speculated it was chandelier. But
So it was chandelier.
Yeah.
And as to question number B, which group ruled ancient Peru? Not the Mayans.
Incas.
I think the Incas. It is indeed the Incas. I'm getting a VAR check from... Yes, I'm seeing it. Stop hatting me, Egg. Granular was the first breakfast cereal, as we note today. Granular was created by Dr. James Caleb Jackson, who ran a health spa in upstate New York. So there is some contention over this question. My sort of feeling on this is that actually the other answers were equally wrong, but of course you locked in the answer that you couldn't see based on the fact that you thought the other two were wrong, which does make it slightly more complicated. I was wondering if Keshi might be able to give us some more information as to where that nugget of trivia has come from. What I can't do strictly is run you back into the game at this level because this is an earlier build. Keshi's not here. Okay. What we'll do then, we'll put a pin in this. We will take it as writ for now because it's approaching 9 o'clock anyway. I will consult with Keshi over this because we are getting a bit of a fact check. Oh, it came from a question card in a box of trivia questions that Keshi had. So that is something that we could perhaps fact check in a little more detail to see if we can get some sort of resolution on that. But what I'm inclined to do is fix this build up to such a point where I can manually jump people into a certain place. It will obviously have to be a different code, but I'll have to do that in a future development if it does indeed transpire that that is indeed an incorrect answer, which it does appear to be. So apologies that's where the game ends for you guys, but hopefully we'll call it a temporary hiatus and maybe see if we can pick it up another time. Is that fair?
No worries, that sounds fair. Yeah, sounds fair to me.
Sounds good.
Fabulous. So,
nice cliffhanger.
Yeah, bit of a cliffhanger ending. We'll come right back in with 1 digit found. I'll see if I can manufacture the code to be the same, if I can tweak that. And I know the washing machine 2 electric boogaloo. I need to stop putting it on before the stream starts. But we'll call it a cliffhanger, and I'll see if I can bring you back in on a question 5 with exactly the same code and exactly the same digit search for. It shouldn't be beyond the wit of man to be able to do that. And we're not playing the code now probably until September. No, it is September. Next month, October. So keep your eyes on the Discord, and I will keep you abreast of developments on that. Is that fair?
Sounds
great.
Splendid.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys, for your understanding. And it does mean, though, that we're going to put... In fact, no, I'll keep the jackpot as it is, 8,500. So note to self, the jackpot's gone up. We're going to end that question there. And you could still be going for that leaderboard. We're going to call it a cliffhanger. Yeah, September 2021. No, it'll be October 2020 the next time we play this game. So, yeah, I know you guys are fairly regular in the server, so just keep your eyes on what's happening, and we'll take it from there. Fab. Right, well, we're going to call the code there. So, yeah, thanks for your... I appreciate you being gallant about it, Keshi. These things happen all the time. It's one of these things, and it's on me as well because I didn't proof them. I tend not to proof the code questions because there's close to 1,000 of them in the database now, which isn't really an excuse. I need to employ some people to fact check some stuff. I mean, I've got Ape and Panda, so maybe I could. Maybe this is a sign of a thing that's happened that maybe I do need to get these questions proofed. Perhaps would be a good thing. Right, we'll take a little break. I'll pop set game back up for you all, but for now. That is the end of the code. It's been a couple of short games and then a slightly more substantial one. Do not use outdated trivia cards. It's a good mental note to have. Don't go away, though, because I will be right back after this very short break and we will be having a double bill of The Escape Artist. First question pack is from our friend David J. Bodycomb, and the next pack is written by me. So I hope you're looking forward to that. The game should be in pretty much its finished format, so I look forward to seeing you there. Sit tight and I'll be back very, very shortly. Should I maybe take it out of test mode? I knew there'd be something. Let's take it out of test mode. Otherwise, we're going to have a question database from last week, and it's also not going to have lots of the nice stuff. Shall we try that again? Let's try that again. Okay, one more try. There we go. Welcome to the first official episode of The Escape Artist. Bit of a false start though, I'm going to try and play it in test mode. If you'd like to play, enter the lobby code VKRG. I'm going to leave the flaming barrels on today. And if it's really lag-tastic, then I might take them off. We've got 2 games to play tonight. Just a reminder that we're going to be playing David's question stack first, my question stack second. So you need to join the game at the head of the evening. You don't need a microphone or anything. Oh, excuse me. But you do need to come join the lobby. Escape or die from smoke inhalation. That's about right, Brig. Pop yourself in if you want to come and play. I'll give you a few minutes to start us off. Oh, stream's just jumped up to 50. People know the Escape Artist is happening. I'll give you a few minutes to come and join. Welcome if you are just joining us. Paulister, thank you for that host. Poker Joker, Midi Plays, Cryptopractor, Spokes, Brian, 8 Minky. 26 of you in so far. Let's get a few more. Let's see if we can fill up that third row. That'd be nice. Yep, the lights are... The flickering lights is a design choice, Yellowtail. I can vape if I need to turn the valves off. Yeah, quite right. Thank you for the host, Midi Plays. Yeah, the flickering lights is a design choice rather than just we need to change the light bulbs. So things that have changed since the last one. The pans now don't happen in between every single question because it got a bit tiresome the last time. The red neon light for the lives podium has been changed so that it is now easy to distinguish between the green and the red neon, even if you've got a form of colour blindness, because that was a thing I wanted to make sure was right in this game. Yeah, definitely hopefully that will be better for people who have protanopia or tritanopia or something similar. What else did I fix? I don't think there are any. There is a bug on question 10 of round 3 that I can't find the source of, whereby the last person to lock in an answer or to time out doesn't have their answer shown on their podium. It's the only time it happens. I thought I'd fixed it, but apparently I haven't. So that is a lingering, persistent bug that I'm aware of, but haven't gotten around to fixing yet. So if you get that far, if you're still alive at that point, just be aware of that. What I'm going to do is stop streaming into Discord, because I don't need to do that anymore. I don't even need to be in the Discord anymore, so I might just disconnect, save some bandwidth. Hello Cryptopractor, welcome to the stream, welcome to our family, and it's relatively self-explanatory. The nub of the game is whisper to Persephone's Twitch bot the answer to the question. Beyond that, there are some strategies, but the nub of the game is answer the questions correctly. But I will explain the rounds as we go. If you're playing on a mobile device, you do need to keep an extra special eye on the chat if you've got a little bit of latency and delay going on. I would advise everybody to whisper to Persephone's Twitch bot, who is right there in the chat. Matt has just brought the whisper command. Yeah, I haven't fixed the camera yet, Egg. And score counts in the same spot. I don't know if he's done that on purpose. Yes, correctly, Anna said that. Maybe where you went wrong last time, possibly. But yes, whispering to Persephone's Twitch bot the answer, the whole answer. They're all full questions, no multiple choice. There is a spell checker. Multiple answers sometimes can be accepted. So if the answer is the thing or thing, both should be passed correctly. But yes, type in the code if you want to come play the game. That's the only thing that can be typed into the lobby apart from the public chat. Typed into the public chat rather, apart from the The only thing that can be typed into public chat in this process is the lobby code, apart from the public speaking that you do. There we go. So, yeah, VKRG, I'll give you another minute to join this game, and then we're going to get going. This is David J. Bodycombe's question pack, and I'm enormously grateful to him. Yes, all failed escapees will be placed into the barrel of fire. Quite right, David. I'm on the Prosecco tonight because I'm a cliche, apparently. Only surnames required would mean that if there is an answer where there is a forename surname, unless it specifically asks for just one of the two, then it will accept either for forename surname. Cryptopractor, are you in the game? I can't see you, but it is panning at the moment. Row 2 on the top left. There you are. Yes, you're on the game, Cryptopractor. Right. Should I bring up the escape artist thing and lock the lobby? I'll do one more pan, last call. We've got 32 players, which is exactly the same as what we had last time. We are doing 2 games of this tonight because this is the first official stream. This is David J. Bodycombe's question stack. My one will be following later. Right, that's the end of the pan. We're going to lock the lobby and lock you in. Can I just say this? Because I'm becoming very aware of it, particularly in this game, and I watched some of the VOD back the other day, and this is something I don't very often talk about, but I'm aware it's very much an elephant in the room, particularly in these situations. I've got a nervous twitch, and this microphone I thought might hide it more than the last one did. It's actually exemplifying it, and with this game it seems to come out a lot more, and it will do. Sometimes I'll do weird things with my lips or make weird popping sounds. I'm sorry about that. I hope it's not too much of a distraction. It's just a thing that I've learned to live with, and I just wanted to address it because I'm very aware of it. I'm hyper aware of it and become very self-conscious and anxious about it. And now I've pointed it out and you hadn't noticed it. Now you're not going to be able to unnotice it. So I'm sorry if I've shattered that illusion for you. Oh, well, please, but if you've never noticed it, then please don't try and spot it and point it out to me. I am aware of it. But I just become quite anxious of it in watching some of the VODs back. So thank you for your patience and understanding. I do appreciate you guys having not noticed it. Too busy answering questions, that'll be it. Got a nervous switch, magic stress. Yes, fair point, 8 Minky. Right, round 1 is initiate. In order to survive, you need to answer 5. There are 10 questions in the round. You can answer any 5 of them. The points for each question are directly related to the difficulty of the question, and they are displayed in the top left-hand corner of your screen. So question 1 is going to be worth 8 points, but it will be an 8-point difficulty question. Once you have answered 5 questions, you are frozen out and cannot answer any more, but you will have escaped from the round. That is the objective of the round, to escape. If you get a question wrong, you lose a life. If you lose 3 lives, you are immediately out of the game. If you abstain, you don't lose a life, but you still need to answer 5. So if you reach a point where it is no longer mathematically possible for you to escape, i.e. you need to answer 3 questions and there are only 2 left, you will also be removed and eliminated from the game. Abstain if you don't know, or if you don't want to gamble. Gambling could come later, but the difficulty of the question is directly connected to the points that you would get for it. So as you can see here, the last question is a 5-point question. The first question is an 8-point question. So think about your tactics. You can answer any of the 5, but once you've answered 5, you cannot answer any more. That is the central premise of the game, and you are whispering your answers to Persephone's Twitch bot. Chat is king, so once the question comes up in chat, the question is live. Once the chat says time is up, time is up. Please don't argue the toss with me over you got your answer in or not. I can overwrite answers if the computer deems it to be incorrect, though that should now be for rare exceptions. I wish you all the very best of luck in escaping. Round 1 is initiate. 5 to survive. Here's question 1. In January 1984, Michael Jackson's hair caught fire when he was filming a commercial for which brand? Ten players attempting this question. Let's see what he said. It's Pepsi. Poor Lister, unfortunately Coca-Cola is not the correct answer. It is a different brand. I cannot accept that, so I'm afraid you're going to lose a life. Everyone else, well done. You've got yourself 8 points. Let's light you up. Hopefully, if you've got some form of colour blindness, you can now see Paulus's red life more clearly than the green. I hope that that is an improvement. Right, fingers on buzzers. Here's question number 2. Red light of shame. On guard, Pret Alez is set by the referee at the start of a bout in which combat sport? (28 out of 32 attempting this, the vast majority. It's a 6-point question. Please don't complain to me about the volume being too loud. This game is supposed to be a little bit of an assault on the senses. It's slightly louder. I might bring it down a smidge, but not a lot. It's supposed to be quite loud. Let's see what you said. It's fencing. Matt the ref. Jousting is not the right answer. Jousting is something you did on a horse with a lance. Everybody else, though, getting that one right. Nicely done, and getting yourself 6 points. Let's light you up. Fingers on buzzers, everybody. Doesn't need it, Royal Flush, leave it the same for you. Death and Yule. Here comes question number 3. It's worth 3 points, this question. DoorDash, Tail Tag, and Hexagon are levels in which 2020 computer game with up to 60 players. (28 out of 32 attempting this one. Let's see what you said. It's Fall Guys. Amazingly, everyone is getting that one right. Everyone who attempted that, getting themselves the 3 points. Nicely done. Let's light you up. At this point, we still have 32 live players and nobody has escaped just yet, because of course we've only had 3 questions. Fingers on buzzers. Here comes question number 4. This is worth 7 points. Which imperial unit of measurement was originally the area that could be ploughed in one day with a yoke of oxen? (19 out of 32 players attempting this one. Let's see what you said. It's an acre. Hectare, not the right answer, I'm afraid. Clive, Brian, area, I can't accept. Yard, DJ Hero. DJ Hero and Danny both saying yard. Yard is a measurement of length rather than area, so I cannot condone that. Everybody else, though, getting the right answer. Acre, nicely done, and getting yourself 7 points. Let's light you up. So, at this point in time, if you have gone a nice shade of blue, light blue there, egg fried cheese, spokes, Coca-Cola, dogfish, 8 minky, that means you are 1 question away. The next question you answer will cause you to escape from the round, but remember, you won't be able to answer any more questions. There are lots of very valuable point questions coming up, so decide wisely which ones you are going to attempt. Or which one, rather, you're going to attempt. Nobody yet requires all, and nobody is down to a single life. So, fingers on buzzers. This is the easiest question, in theory, of the lot. You have to take the dog out. Okay, I'll see you in a minute, babe. Technically, the easiest question of the lot is worth a single point. Here is question number 5. With humps that can store fat and water for long journeys, which animal has the nickname the Ship of the Desert? Is worth a single point. (20 out of 32 players attempting this one. It is the easiest question of the lot, but it could be a safe question. Let's see what you said. It's a camel, no drama there. Everyone who attempted it getting it right. Still, no one escaped, so the players who are only 1 away have decided not to have a go at that question, and no one has escaped. Let's light you up. J-Box, if you could keep the answers going to Persephone's Twitch bot rather than public chat, that would be great, just in the interest of fair play. So if you're 1 away at this point, quite a few players now, only 1 away from escaping, which is a nice position to be in. I shan't name you all. Nobody requires... Oh no, I tell a lie. 2 people require all. Cryptopractor and Jbox720. Jbox, you need to whisper to Persephone's Twitch bot to get your answers in. Jbox and Cryptopractor, you need to answer all 5 of the remaining questions correctly. If you get one wrong or you abstain, you will be eliminated from the game. Everyone has still got at least 2 lives, so fingers on buzzers. Here comes question number 6. The Yellow Minions characters, including Tim, Stuart and Bob, first appeared in which 2010 full-length feature film? This is a 2-pointer. 15 out of 32 attempting this question. Just going to refresh my stream because it's done that freezy thing again. 15 out of 32, let's see what he said. Was Despicable Me, and again, everybody who has attempted that question has got it right. Porlister, Kohler, Ardenfett, Ramsey Fox and Carl VII become the first 5 players to escape, all with 19 apart from Kohler, who has 26. Nicely done. You are safely through to round 2. You cannot answer any more questions in this round, but you are safe. We will speak to you in a little while. Unfortunately, CryptoPractor42 and JBox720, because you haven't answered any questions yet, it is now mathematically impossible for you to escape, which means for you two, it is the end of the road, and it's lights out. 4 questions remain in this round. This is question number 7. It's a 4-pointer. If you are 1 point away, 1 question away rather, you're flashing now. There's light blue players. Nobody requiring all, and nobody with a single life. A reminder at this point that you get a bonus point for every life that you have intact at the end of the round. That's something I should have mentioned before, and I forgot to do that last time we played as well. Bonus point for every life you have left at the end of the round. Fingers on buzzers for this 4-pointer. It's question number 7. For people living in Australia, which of the 4 seasons begins in September? Out of 25 having a go at this. 10 people choosing to abstain. Let's see what you said. It's spring, and we've got 2 players getting that one wrong. Puzzle Dan and Samster both going for summer are going to lose a life on that question. Everybody else going for spring. Quite a few people have escaped now. 12 players in total have now escaped. Let's light you up. Abney, Ardenfetz, Carl VII, DMM, Cetra, Porlister, Cola, Lingo Maniac, M3 times, Ramsey Fox, G. Isons, and Danny Boy have all escaped through to round 2. Congratulations, you 12. We will see you there. 18 players remain in live play. If you want away, you've gone light blue, and it means you can answer any of the next 3 questions and escape with points. If you require all of them, just Drahuska at this stage. Drahuska, you need to answer all 3 of the remaining questions correctly. If you abstain or get one wrong, you are eliminated from the game. No one down to their last life yet, so fingers on buzzers. Here comes question number 8. In art and maths, what colourful adjective is used for the ratio equal to half of the square root of 5 plus 1? This is a 9-pointer, a tricky question. 11 out of 18 players attempting this one, trying to maximise on the points. 9 of them available. Let's see what you said. It's the golden ratio. Golden or golden ratio. Absolutely right. Nobody, apart from Scorecount, getting that one wrong, who I can't see because he's off the edge of the screen. Let's go to a pand. Yeah, I can do the pans manually now. Scorecount said phi, which is not the right answer. Although, actually, is it the wrong term? Because I'm not sure if phi and the golden ratio are the same thing. Can someone VAR check that for me? Because there's a part of my brain that is saying phi and the golden ratio are the same thing. To David J. Bodicum's point, what colourful adjective? Phi is not a colourful adjective. They are the same thing, but the question did say colourful adjective. I'm going to tighten up what I'm going to accept and be lenient. Yeah, and be a bit more lenient, a bit less lenient on answers then. It does say colourful adjective, and although phi is the right thing, Scorecount, it is not particularly colourful. So I can't condone that. Lots of players, though, getting that one right, in fact, everyone else. Unfortunately, Drahuska, it is now impossible for you to escape. You didn't proffer an answer to that question, so for you, it is the end of the road, and it is lights out. 21 out of 32 of you have escaped. 8 of you remain to take on the remaining 2 questions. If you're one away, you're that light blue, Matt the Ref, DJ Hero, Brian, Samster, Yellowtail, and Midi Plays. Any or either of the next 2 questions will see you safely escape into round 2. If you require both questions, Puzzle Dan and Scorecount, you need to answer both of these questions correctly in order to escape. And still everyone has got at least 2 lives, though at this point lives are becoming slightly academic. This next one is a 10-pointer, theoretically the hardest question in the round. Fingers on buzzers, here's question number 9. The brightest star in the night sky, Sirius, aka the Dog Star, is part of which constellation? Puzzle Dan's in. Samster's in. DJ Hero Scorecounter in. Brian's in. And Yellowtail is in, just the 6 out of 8 attempting this one. Let's see what they said. Canis Major. Leo, Orion, the Milky Way is the galaxy. DJ Hero. Let's go to camera pan 3, see what that looks like. Score count also seeing Canis Major. Note to self, I will fix that angle. It's not fair that we can't see score count. That's 2 games in a row score count's been there as well. But I will fix that for next time score. Yes, Canis Major or the Greater Dog was the answer we're after there. So Puzzle Dan, Brian and DJ Hero, you are going to lose a life. In fact, Puzzle Dan, you're going to be eliminated because unfortunately at this point it's impossible for you to escape. So for you, unfortunately, it is the end of the road and it's lights out. Just the 5 of you left in live play then. Midi plays, Brian, DJ Hero, Matt the Ref and score count. 1 question remaining. It's a 5-pointer. You must answer this one correctly in order to escape. Additionally, Brian and DJ Hero, you're on your last life. It is academic at this point, whether you got your last life, but it's always nice to use that flash where possible. It's worth 5 points. Here is question number 10. You need to answer it to escape. In the RGB colour model, which secondary colour is made from mixing equal amounts of green and blue light? There's 5 pings. That means all of the players have at least attempted an answer. Let's see what they said. Purple, yellow, cyan, aqua, purple. It is a technical distinction between purple and the colour we're after is cyan. It's a sort of light blue. Aqua is close, but that is not the technical name, Brian. Unfortunately, aqua is more to do with paint and colours of, not light, the other colours of the paint palette. Unfortunately, I'm not going to accept that. I'm going to be a bit more stringent. No, purple is close to magenta, which is blue and red. Brian is protesting aqua and cyan are the same. Aqua is more blue. I think there is a technical distinction. Cyan is a very specific thing. Cyan, magenta, yellow. I think they're quite specific things, but David may overrule me on this. You can paint with all the colours of the wind. Thank you, G. Heisens. David, I shall defer to you. This is my inclination not to give it, but you're the question master. Fair to the others, going to say no. Okay, so there is the ruling. Aqua is not the answer. It is a technically distinct colour from cyan. Unfortunately, Brian, that is the wrong answer, as is purple, yellow, and purple. Score count, Matt the Ref and Midi plays. So, on the last question of round 1, I'm afraid for you 4, it is the end of the road, and it's lights out. So, we have reached the end of round 1. Congratulations if you are still here. We started with 32. We've come down to 24. 8 players have been lost to the void, and 24 will go on to round 2. For every life that you have remaining at this point, we will give you a bonus point. Well done. That is the end of the round. Let's go on to round 2. That counts up so much slower when I'm actually streaming. The lag is unbelievable. Round 2 is sustain. Similar concept to round number 1 in that rather than having to answer 5 to stay alive, you need to hit a certain target. The target, as you can see, is 51, and this has been determined by the highest scoring player plus 15. So in this case, a few players on 36. Egg fried cheese, dogfish, spokes, all on 36, which means, yes, the better you did in round 1, the more questions you need to answer. Questions in this round are worth a flat rate of 5 points each. So from that you should be able to work out how many questions you need to answer in order to escape the round. It's worked out highest score plus 15, because that means even the highest scoring players have to answer at least 3. We've given you your lives back. The extra catch with this round is that after you've escaped, you may continue to answer questions, but you are still subject to elimination if you run out of lives. So if you escape early on, then you see a question you definitely know the answer to, you can play it again and continue to boost your score. That might be very useful when it comes to round number 3 a little bit later on. However, if you escape and then you lose your lives, you are still eliminated from the game. So be wise about using them. Additionally, at the end of this round, you will get 2 bonus points for every life that you have intact. So that's an extra conundrum to consider if you've already escaped and you're looking to think, should I answer this question? Remember, you're going to lose 2 out of your bonus if you get it wrong and potentially risk elimination. That's for round 2. It's sustain. The concept is still the same. Whisper to Persephone's Twitch bot. Very best of luck to you. Round 2 is sustain. It's question 1. All questions are worth 5 points. How many dice are used in the traditional game Yacht or the commercial version Yahtzee? Just Sam's to sit in this one out. Everyone else has had a go at something. Let's see what you said. 5. Everyone who attempted it getting it absolutely right. Nicely done. Nothing to report there. Just Sam's to sit in that question out. Let's light you up. Moving right along. Here comes question number 2. 5 for 5. Tea, damask and musk are varieties of which kind of flower? Not quite so quick to answer on this one, I see. There's a few more. Only 8. 8 out of 24. Exactly a third of players attempting this one. Let's see what you said. It's a rose. Okay, let this be known. This is the last time I'm going to condone somebody who puts an answer and follows it with a question mark. This is the first time actually it's condoned it wrong because it's quite a short word. It is a rose, but Egg, you put a question mark on there. I've told Score off about this, and you two should know better because you're moderators. Score helped design the game, for goodness sake. You two should know better. Sorry to admonish you now, Score, you're not in the game anymore. I am going to condone this on this occasion, Egg, but let this be known. Thank you very much for the subscription. Weemers, welcome to the game. Do stick around. We're going to be playing another game of this after this one. We're currently about halfway through. Egg, yeah, I'm going to condone this for now, Egg, because it is a rose. The next time somebody adds an extra character, unless it's clearly been someone just slapping their keyboard, like hitting enter, I don't think I can condone it, because we've got to be strict about this sort of thing. Rose was the right answer. Ramsey Fox, Cola and Cetra going for Lotus, Orchid and Chamomile respectively. Not the right answers, you're going to lose a life. Let's light you up. Yes, as David is saying, Score, you're not dead, you're just trapped for all eternity. Which is maybe better. Who knows? Fingers on buzzers, gang. Here comes question number 3. Egg, you're 1 away from escaping. The flags of El Salvador, Honduras and Nicaragua feature horizontal stripes in white and which other colour? "19 out of 24 attempting this, only 5 players abstaining." Come on. You guessed it, Yellowtail. You don't have to guess. If you don't know it's going to cost you a life, you could have waited for other questions. Let's see what you said. You guessed wrongly, I'm afraid, Yellowtail. Clive saying green, Yellowtail saying black, Anasep saying green, Cast saying light blue. VAR check, please, on Carl the 7th's answer. Brig going for green, G. Eisen's going for green. All of those are wrong, apart from maybe Cars. David says, okay to light blue. Incidentally, the mod team have put themselves forward as also VAR checkers, so there can be a consensus. But when I've got the question writer here, that will always be my first port of call. So, Car, yes, light blue can be condoned. Have your points. Everyone else who I mentioned there, unfortunately, the wrong answer. You're about to lose a life. Let's light you up. So at this point, we've got some interesting things to report. There are 4 players who are 1 away. You can answer any of the next few questions. Keshi, Egg, Spokes and Dogfish. Though remember, once you have escaped, you may continue answering questions if you like. Nobody yet requires all of the questions, and nobody only has 1 life remaining. All the questions are worth 5 points. Let's go on to question number 4. BED is a measurement of exposure to ionizing radiation based on eating 1 piece of which fruit? "18 out of 24, again, exactly 2/3 of you attempting this one. I didn't have a clue, but as Samson just said, educated guess, when I proofread the question pack earlier on, without looking at the answers, this was my educated guess as well. Let's see if Samson's gone for the same thing. Let's see what you said. Yeah, it is a banana. Absolutely right. Everybody who attempted that one getting that one right. And we have our first escapees, 4 of them. Keshi, Egg, Spokes and Dogfish. Nicely done. You have escaped into round 3, I beg your pardon. Though, of course, you can continue to answer questions to maximise your points if you like. Let's light you up. At this point, DMM and Aminki are now 1 away from the target of 51, or 1 more question will get them there. No one yet requires all. Nobody only has 1 life left. Get ready for question Number 5, getting to the midpoint of the round. Which American composed a piece of music that is 639 years long and took 7 years to reach its first key change? Not as many. 9 out of 24 attempting this one. I love this question because actually this was the thing over the weekend, and I sent it to Alex, who's the colleague of mine in Persephone's chair. This actually changed harmony this weekend. Not that I want to pull David J. Bodicum up on this, but this is sort of my area. The piece in question is actually marked to be played as slow as possible. Originally, it wasn't necessarily. I'm assuming this is the same piece of music we're talking about. Wasn't necessarily supposed to be 639 years long. People have done it, and it's taken them like a day. But there's an experiment that's being done by some people in Germany, because of course it is. Depends on which metronome they're using, quite right. But yes, it's just a little fact nugget because I happened to catch this at the weekend. The composer in question, incidentally, was Cage, or John Cage. DMM, wrong way. Yeah, Philip Glass is a minimalist composer, whereas John Cage is just pretty wacky. Is it Hotel California? No, it's John Cage, the guy what wrote 433. Fun fact for when it invariably comes up in a quiz in future, 433, the piece of 4 minutes 33 seconds of silence, was written because 433 is the temperature in the temperature in, it's something like minus 433. Well, that's it. That amount of time in seconds, negative, is equal to the Celsius of 0 Kelvin. So 0 Kelvin is something like minus 267, which is 4 minutes and 33 in seconds. And that's why that piece is 433. I'm going off on a little music lecture because I don't get to do that sort of thing anymore. But yeah, same guy, John Cage. Unfortunately, DMM, that's not the right answer. You're going to lose a life. A few more escapees there. Let's light you up. 5 of you, 1 more escapee. Keshi, Egg, Spokes, Dogfish, 8 Minky now escaping. If you're 1 away, Samster and DMM. DMM still 1 away. Minus 273. That many seconds is 433, yeah. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. G. Eisens and Danny Boy, at this point you require all of the remaining questions. You haven't answered any in this round, which means you need all 5 of the remaining ones in order to escape, because you both need 5 questions. No one is yet on their last life, but all of that could change. Here comes question number 6. Which chocolate eggs made by Ferrero are banned in the USA because they contain a non-nutritive object? ...23 out of 24, all but 1 player. So looks like Danny Boy's sitting this one out, and looks like he's going to be eliminated as a result. Let's see what he said. Kinder was the answer. Kinder Eggs, or Kinder Surprise. I messaged David earlier on. No, because David, I messaged you earlier on about this, and I added Kinder in, and so maybe we're coming to we're a parting of the ways here. I added Kinder to the thing, and the reason I did this, and I messaged you about this earlier, is because the question specifically says eggs. Which chocolate eggs? Kinder. Eggs is already in the question, so that. And I did message you to. In fairness, I did message you to ask, but presumably you've been busy with other things. Not quite as wedded to Discord as I am. So I did add Kinder to the list originally, just to throw this out to you. Yellowtail, Ardenfets, etc., and Spokes and Brig, and DJ Hero. Kinder wasn't an answer. David J. Bodkin and I, I'm sure, will talk about that at more length over a beer at some point, I'm sure. But I added Kinder in because eggs was in the question. Kinder Eggs, Kinder Surprise was the right answer. Cadbury Cream Eggs is not the right answer, Lingo. Yeet is not the right answer, G. Eisens, and that's what you're about to be. And Apple Cars, Rocher is not the right answer. So, Lingo and Apple, you're about to lose a life. Danny Boy and G. Eisens, unfortunately for you two, it is now impossible for you to escape, so it is the end of the road. And it's lights out. That countdown is so slow. It's because it's in a co-routine and with all the lag that's happening, and that's the thing. 7 players have now escaped. Keshi, Egg, Dogfish, Samster, DMM, 8 Minky, and Spokes. I've missed anyone else. If you're 1 away, you're blue. Cola, Ardenfets, Car the 7th. 1 more question will escape you from this round. Nobody requires all, and nobody has only one life left. We're at question number 7. There are 4 questions left in this round. Fingers on buzzers. Question number 7 is worth another 5 points. Here it is. In April 2011, fans of which TV show could have won $150 in a Mega Millions draw by playing Hurley's numbers? This is potentially a very niche question. 10 out of 22 players attempting that, including some of the players who've already escaped, by the looks of it. Let's see what you said. Yes, it was Lost. The magic numbers from Lost. Say it with me. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. Love that show. Nicely done, everybody who attempted that one, getting that one right. Let's light you up. Oh, lots of colours. 9 players have escaped. Keshi, Egg, Dogfish, Ardenfett, Samster, DMM, 8, Minky, Cola and Spokes have now all escaped. If you're one away, you're blue. Clive, Ramsey, Carr. Any of the next 3 questions will see you good to escaping. If you require all of them at this point, you're orange and you're now flashing. That means you've got to get all 3 of the next questions in order to escape. Still nobody down to their last life. Remember, lives are worth 2 bonus points each at the end of the round. Fingers on buzzers, everyone. Here's question number 8. Now part of a national monument, a tiny wood cabin in Ogdenville, Kentucky, was the birthplace of which US president? "16 of 22 players attempting that one. Let's see what you said. It's Abraham Lincoln. Wrong answers. George Washington, Ted Roosevelt. Goodbye from DJ Hero. Nice to have you, DJ Hero. Do stick around for the second game. And Applecar saying Wilson. Everybody else getting a correct answer. Yes, it was indeed Abraham Lincoln. Which means with that, Yellowtail, Applecars and DJ Hero, it is now impossible for you to escape. So unfortunately, you've come this far, but it is the end of the road. And it's lights out. So, 2 questions left in the round. 11 players have already escaped. If you want away, just the 2. Anasep and Carl the 7th, you can have either of these next 2 questions. Everyone else, if you're orange, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you, you require both of these questions in order to hit that target. Best of luck to you. Here comes question number 9. In 2020, which former host of Fear Factor reportedly signed a $100 million exclusivity deal with Spotify for his podcast? "13 out of 19 of you attempted that one. Let's see what you said. Joe Rogan, or Rogan, was the correct answer. Everyone who attempted that, getting that one right. By the looks of it. Unfortunately, Cetra and Lingomaniac, it is now impossible for you to escape because you didn't proffer an answer to that question, which means, sadly, it's the end of the road. And it's lights out. That is taking entirely too long. I might disable the detail. In fact, rather than just the details, let me disable the debris, because that's the one that seems to cause the most. The barrels are actually relatively easy going. That's a bit better, isn't it? Let's put a pan on. 11 of you have now escaped into the final round. 17 of you are still alive, because of course you can still answer the questions if you've escaped, but it does mean 6 of you have not escaped, and you 6 will light you up now. Abney, Brig Bother, Paulister, M3 times, Anasep and Carl the 7th, you must answer this question in order to survive. Nobody has a single life left, which means no one's going to get eliminated on life loss. So even if you've escaped, you might want to try this one. Remember, you lose 2 points if you out of your bonus if you get it wrong, but you get 5 if you get it right. Very best of luck. Here's question number 10. The absent-minded, partially deaf professor in Tintin shares his name with which branch of mathematics? 2 in so far. Oh, there's a few more now. 10 out of 17 attempted that. By the looks of it, all the players who needed the question in order to escape. I need to refresh that stream again because it's frozen. I'm not going to use Microsoft Edge anymore. Let's see what you said. Calculus was the answer we wanted. Algebra's a wrong answer, Abney. Geometry's a wrong answer. Oh, Alice at 1 point away. That is tragic, but that is the breaks in this game. Algebra wrong, car. Algebra wrong M 3 times. Geometry wrong, Paula stuff. So, very sadly, at this point, despite 11 of you having escaped, if I just bring up the right thing, Abney, Anisep, Carl the 7th, Paulus to an M 3 times. You needed that question to escape. You haven't answered it correctly, which means, sadly for you, it is the end of the road. And it's lights out. Car, if you put it in the public chat, I can't do anything about that. It's said from the start you don't need to use the public chat except to chat. So the rules is there from the start. I can't do anything to override that, unfortunately. More to the point, even if I could, even if I were inclined to take your answer from public chat, which I'm not, but even if I were, I can only override answers that have been submitted. I can't override people who haven't submitted anything, which if you're on public chat will be the situation. So, at the end of round 2, congratulations to the 12 players who have escaped into round 3. Keshi Head, Cliver Legend, Egg Fried Cheese, Dogfish, Ardenfett, Samster, DMM, 8 Minky, Ramsey Fox, Cola Cola, Brig Bother and Spokes. You have all escaped into round 3. My hearty congratulations to you. For every life that you have still intact, we will give you another 2 points, which means you're standing to get a bonus of either 4 or 6 at this point. Very well done. Let's go to the final round. Megs? Megs? Yeah? Just come back to nothing. Would you mind filling that up for me? Thank you very much. Megs is going to get me another glass of Prosecco because she is bae. Right.
Megs is very well trained, isn't she?
Round 3 is called Survive. There are 10 questions in this round. You've got your points, but can you keep them? In this round, a correct answer will start a countdown. When that countdown starts, your points will gradually decrease at the rate shown in the top left-hand corner. For the first 3 questions, it's a rate of 1.5 seconds. 1 point for every 1.5 seconds. Once someone answers, it will trigger a clock of 15 seconds. Your points will count down at that rate for the duration of that 15 seconds. If you don't answer, then you will lose a maximum of 10. If nobody starts the clock, then you will all lose the default of 10 points. Only correct answers will start the clock. Take note here, because lives work in a slightly different way in this round. Rather than being about getting questions wrong, your lives work sort of as a refire. So if you attempt a question and get it wrong, the bot, and this is a new addition, the bot, thank you gorgeous, the plate. If you attempt a question and get it wrong, the bot will ping you immediately in chat. This is a new addition, and thanks to Apodo Nuevo for this, telling you that you've got it wrong. If you've still got lives, it means you may re-attempt the question, but for every re-attempt that you make, whether right or wrong, it will cost you a life. So you don't have to accept your first answer. If you type it in and it's wrong and the bot immediately pings you and it's wrong, you can try again, providing you have lives remaining. Yes, you can answer 4 times in question 1 if you're so inclined, Egg Fried Cheese, but it does mean once your lives are expired, you're not eliminated from the game, but it does mean from that point on, only your first answer will be accepted. Keep your eye on the chat, because as soon as you type it, that's where it'll come up. There'll be a message saying, if there's no message from the bot, that means you were correct. And I know if you're playing with latency, that can be quite difficult. There is a slight change to question number 10 as well, if and when we get there, which I will explain. Apart from that, the rules are the same. Once someone answers it right, your clocks will start to count down, and the only way to stop it is to either let the time expire or to get it right. Advantage is currently with both Egg Fried Cheese and Spokes, who are both on 82. Very best of luck to you all. Round 3 is Survive. Here is question number 1. A lobster telephone and a sofa shaped like Mae West's lips were created by which Spanish artist? Clive has started the clock. Brig, Dogfish and Ardenfet's getting that wrong and choosing not to re-attempt. They went for Picasso, and Degas, respectively. Clive there starting the clock, everybody else managing to get to the right answer, which was Salvador Dali. Fun fact, this was a virtually identical question that was going into my question pack for the second game, which I have subsequently gone and changed. What's that all about? I'll look at that in a bit. So I just had a text message from my real life boss of quizmastering, the guy who runs the bar at the pub, the bar where I run an in real life pub quiz. So I thought I'd just glance at that. I'll look at it later. Dogfish, Ardenfets and Brig, you're not going to lose any lives. You only lose lives to refires. You could have re-attempted that question, but if you didn't know, no sense in doing that. And indeed, David, great minds and all that. Clive is certainly the only player to retain all of his points there. The answer was Salvador Dali. Let's light you up. Advantage now with Spokes, who is on 81. Fingers on buzzers, here is question. Does the ping work better? I'm glad the ping is working, yeah, because if you've got like 3 seconds of latency in later rounds, that can be a lot of points. So keep an eye on the chat. If you're wrong, you'll be immediately pinged. Here's question number 2. The British pound sign is a stylized version of which letter of the alphabet? DMM has started the clock. Clive's spending all his lives on this question. He's finally got it right. Can stop the clock there. Yeah, it's an L. You'd think an E, but it's not. It's an L. I'm assuming what Samster, and there's just a case sensitivity there, and it's not an I that you've put, but the answer is L. Ramsey Fox going for S and not getting the right answer. Cola finding the right answer eventually. Clive using up all of his lives to eventually get to the right answer. I'm not sure how many points he saved himself there. Keshi going for E, and Egg and going for E, but not re-attempting. Answers I got in E. Looking at Clive, who went E, then R, then G, and then L. So Clive went through half the alphabet before settling on the answer. So from this point onwards, Clive, only your first answer will be accepted, and Cola, you have only got 1 refire. L for Libra. Let's light you up. Advantage still with Spokes at this point on 81 points. Though 8Minky not a million miles behind on 76, and DMM just a little bit further on 73. Here's question number 3. The sound of leather on willow is sometimes used as a poetic description of which team's sport. Clive has started the clock. If you're red or orange, that means you haven't answered, or haven't answered correctly. Spokes and 8, you've still got lives. Spokes is going and saving himself a point there. I think probably not much more than that, maybe a point or 2 and spending a life. 8Minky going for golf. Wrong answers I had there. Ramsey went for baseball. Dogfish went for jockeying. 8Minky went for golf. Spokes went for baseball. A couple more lives being spent. Clive starting the clock, keeping all of his points despite not having any lives. Yes, cricket. That's what happens when you hit the ball. Let's light you up. Something I should have added at the beginning that I didn't, and it's the second time I've taken this for granted and not said it. If you hit 0, you're eliminated from the game. Just worth pointing out. The observant among you would have spotted the drain rate has just increased. So now a default penalty for no one answering correctly is 15 points, and it's 1 point per second for every second that you are wrong or not answering after someone has given a correct answer. Cody, you've got 1 refire. Ramsey, you've got 2. Spokes, you've got 2. Dogfish, you've got 2. Clive, you haven't got any. Everyone else has still got all 3 refires. Here comes question number 4. The video editing software Final Cut Pro is currently developed by which company? Ooh, and Spokes has started the clock. Look at all the wrong answers that have come in. Doesn't surprise me you got that one wrong. That's what I would have thought. Clive with a typo there, but it was the wrong answer anyway. Yes, resigned to... That's the penalty when you lose all your lives. You're resigned to just watching your clock count down. It's Apple. Apple are currently in charge of Final Cut Pro. I thought it was Adobe as well, but Adobe do Premiere Pro. Final Cut Pro is Apple. Was Mac not accepted? Mac is the name of a computer, not the company, Egg. I think that's tenuous at best to try and claim that as a correct answer. I could restore you to that point. You did go for Mac first when you had 59 points and 3 lives, but I think that is tenuous at best. Mac is the name of a computer made by Apple Incorporated. So I'm not going to let that go. Clive even has Adobe Premiere Pro. For shame. Keshi Head going for Adobe and not reattempting. Why are you orange, Keshi? Oh, you must have put a wrong answer in before someone started the clock, which is why you're orange. Same for DMM. Remember, you have got those lives, you can use them. Used to be Macromedia, but it's not these days. Thank you for the nugget there, Ash. Cola not proffering an answer at all, neither did Ramsey Fox. I'm going to go to a pan because I haven't done one for a while. They Minky went for Sony. How about that? So, those are the current standings. Everyone is still alive for now. We're going on to question number 5. Clive, first answers only. Egg, 2 refires. Spokes, 1 refire. Brig, 2 refires. Cola, 1 refire. Dogfish and Arden Fett and Ramsey Fox and Samson, 2 refires. DMM and Amic, you've still got all 3. Best of luck to you all. Advantage at this point is still with Spokes on 72. Here comes question number 5. In religious doctrine, which prophet was visited by the Archangel Gabriel in a Saudi Arabian cave called Hira? Clive has started the clock. Hey, Minky and Samster both wrong. Try again, if you like. Maybe they decided at that point it wasn't worth having another go. Moses, Muslim are the wrong answers coming up. Moses was wrong, Brig, but not attempting a refi there. What's happening? Hey, Quizzy Dan, thank you for the raid of 28 people. If you're joining us, Quizzy Dan and fam, we are having another game after this one. This game is nearing its conclusion, and you'll be welcome to join us for that. So, Spokes still with the advantage on 71, and that advantage is getting stronger with each passing question. Thank you very much for the subscription, JPB, as well, of 3 months now. Thank you very much indeed. That's enormously good of you and kind. So yes, if you're joining us, Raiders, we are reaching the business end of this game, and we will be having another one very, very shortly. Let's light you up. We're at the halfway point. This is the last question where points are worth 1 point per second. I looked it up earlier on. Apparently that was his surname, but don't know. Hopefully, sign of respect. There we go. I did not know that. Thank you very much for the nugget there, David. Moving on, here comes question number 6. In the Bergman film The Seventh Seal, a medieval knight plays chess with the personification of what concept? Spokes has started the clock. And Clive is resigned to watch his clock count down. Hey, Minky, you can have another go. Samson has stopped his clock. It was death, not time. 8 Minky, a reminder, you can reattempt the question. If the bot pings you and tells you it's wrong, reattempt it. You've got those lives to use, and now you are burning down. Cake or death, please. Cake, please. Down to 17. And running into danger territory. Clive down on 31. Spoke still has advantage. The answer there was death. Let's light you up. Spokes still got that advantage 71, hasn't moved from that for a while, being the starter of the clock. The drain rate has increased once again. The drain rate is now 1 point per 0.75 seconds, up to a maximum of 20 if we default and no one gets an answer in. It's going to start moving pretty fast, so those lives could be quite useful at this point. Best of luck to you. Here comes question number 7. Cascades, showers, fountains and columns are pattern types used in which physical skill? Ramsey Fox has started the clock. Clive is wrong and resigned to watching his clock tick down. So there might be a little bit of funny thing where it looks like it's skipping 2 points at the end there. That is intentional, and it just means it's got caught behind on the co-routine, and that the animation is slightly behind. So that's why it does that slightly weird fast thing at the end. So Brig, it might have looked like you jumped from 4 to 2, but that is a deliberate piece of programming there. Wow, lots of people getting that one wrong. Ramsey Fox starting the clock and setting a lot of people on edge there. Juggling was the correct answer. Samster went rock climbing, Clive went crochet, we then had yo-yo, bricklaying, climbing, cup stacking and carpentry. But unfortunately the answer was juggling. Everyone is still alive, but Brig is in some serious trouble now, down to just 2 points. Spokes with that strong advantage of 70, but he has only got 1 life left. So a wrong answer and then a misfire would put him under some pressure. Clive, a wrong answer at this point will eliminate you from the game, and that is a guarantee. You can only have your first answer accepted. 8 Minky, you've still got those 3 lives. They don't count for anything if you've still got them when you go out. Best of luck to you all. Here comes question number 8. Measured in kilogram meters per second, what physical quantity is calculated by multiplying mass by velocity? Ramsey Fox is wrong. Lots of wrong answers. DMM has started the clock. And looks like we're going to lose some players this game. That is an absolutely brutal question. The answer was momentum. I thought it was acceleration as well. I am just going to have a look through the answers you've put. Newton, acceleration, speed, inertia. David, can I get a VAR check on inertia? Moment, force, gravity, acceleration, but weight, I love you, speed, force. Momentum is a slightly different thing. Okay, so we can't accept inertia. That was the only one there that I thought maybe, possibly, but unfortunately not, and that was submitted by Clive. Inertia is change in momentum, which is different. So Clive, a valiant effort, but unfortunately wrong. And we finally got some players going out. Keshi Hair, Clive, a legend, Samster, Brig, Bother, and 8 Minky. A valiant effort to get to question 8 of round 3, but unfortunately for you guys, it is the end of the road, and it's lights out. Spokes with that solid advantage of 70, DMM with 32. Everyone else is getting close to single digits or in there already. Lots of people have expended all their lives. All the pressure's going to be on Spokes, so make sure he starts that question. Question number 9 coming up now. Can anyone start the question before Spokes? Literally meaning palm of the hand, what is the name for a ring-shaped coral reef surrounding a central lagoon? DMM has started the clock. Coda has stopped the clock. Ramsey is eliminated. Ardenfetz is eliminated. Dogfish is eliminated. Egg fried cheese is eliminated. Spokes hasn't answered yet. Spokes losing a lot of points on that question, but not going out of the game. Egg, you were right. Yes, unfortunately, once your time reaches 0, it no longer accepts your answers. The answer was atoll or atolls. Another bloodbath right there. Spokes losing a lot of points but staying alive. Cola just managing to cling on with 3 points. DMM starting the clock keeps us 32, but unfortunately egg fried cheese, Dogfish, Ramsey Fox and Ardenfetz. It is the end of the road and it's lights out. DMM, you have still got all 3 lives. Cola and Spokes, you have got 1 refire if you get it wrong at first. For this question, the points will not stop after 15 seconds. The drain rate is 0.5 seconds and they will keep counting down until they hit 0 or you get it right. One change from last week. Rather than after the initial 15 seconds you just lose the default, after 15 seconds now, and I think this works, I did test it and it was working in testing, after 15 seconds in this case your clocks will just start counting down. Okay? So there's no flat penalty. You either get this one right or you go out. It should be something that you should be able to work out. I wish you all the very best of luck. If you don't get it within the 15 seconds, your clocks will start, but you can still answer. Here comes question number 10. Badger's Burrow, cereal grass for bread, reduce a weapon's power. What number comes next? Not quite sure what happened there. DMM has gone green. The clock is counting down, Spokes. I need an answer. That's wrong. Got another refire if you like, Spokes. He's not going to try it again. And he's out of time. So, that was slightly... I'm not quite sure why you went green, DMM. You should have gone blue. Yeah, it's a really good final question, one that makes you think, and that works so much better just starting your clock, so the more points you've got, the more time you've got to think about it. It was 10, or 10. You've got set, wheat, nerf, 10. A very, very clever French number questions, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Spokes not managing to find the answer. With all that time and all that advantage to think those through, couldn't get the answer in. Which means, Cola, you've run out of points. And Spokes, you've run out of points. Which means for you guys, it is the end of the road. And it's lights out. One little tiny bug. It looks like the message that you type is showing up now. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like DMM was going blue for being the first to answer. So that might be a little thing I need to tweak. But at the end of all that, DMM, you have emerged victorious. Congratulations, you have outlasted the rest of the pack. All 32 of them. Comes down to one. And the escape artist for the first game tonight is DMM JRB. And with all 3 lives just for bragging rights in the last round as well. Well played, that man. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It's 10 o'clock now. I said I was going to finish at 10. I did say I was going to finish at 10. But I've written a question pack, and there's people who have joined from another stream who I've promised a question pack to. So we're going to do it, and I'm going to try and pick up the pace a little bit. So, one more game. Please enjoy our award-winning credits, which haven't won any awards but might do one day. And I will see you in a few short minutes for game number 2. Congratulations to DMM. You are the escape artist. Welcome back to episode 2 of The Escape Artist. If you'd like to play, enter the lobby code now. So this question pack has been written by me. We've had David's, and I'm enormously grateful to David for his question pack. Let's take the debris off because that was the thing causing all the lag. So, if you want to play in the second game, I'll give you a couple of minutes to join. It is 10 o'clock. I did say I was finishing at 10, and I'm now not because this game takes longer than I'd anticipated. So, do come join the lobby if you want to come and play the second game tonight. Is DMM coming to defend his title? Can't see him. And if you're joining us from Quizzy Dan's stream, welcome. Let's say hello to Prove, Sensei, Pokenuts, Many Pink Hats, JPB, Froggy Broom, Cheesy Dancing, Annika, Chris M. Dixon, Tebow Bear, McClempson, Meredith Musing, Quizzy Dan, Jacob Does 09, DC Simmons, and Double UTF. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us for the second game of The Escape Artist. DMM is Dogfish, is that right? VROX is the code. How many so far? 32. It's always 32. It's been 32 the last 3 games. Let's get some progress going. Get up to 33. That'd be good. And yes, if you're on telly, you can say hello to your parents or whatnot. There you go, Jacob Does 09. Welcome to the game. Right, 30 more seconds, and then we've got to get this game underway. Yeah, with this game, I've literally just got to press the play button again. And now it's my question pack in there. Test mode is still off. And I think we should be good to go. My microphone's on. I don't need that panel anymore. I need the Escape Artist panel, don't I? Right, I'll count you down from 10. Yeah, the frame rate is going to be a little choppy because there's loads of stuff going on Yellowtail and I'm crap at optimization, I'm afraid. So we'll just have to live with it. It's only for pretty effects. True body cam. Is David actually in the game this time? Oh, there he is. David's come to have a go at my question pack. David Bodycon in the warehouse. I'd love to come and play this game. That might be a thing. Hints at things to come. Hey, David. Hey. Hints at things to come in maybe a certain end of season party. All to be revealed in due course. Right. Panda, did you end up looking at the question stack? Because if you didn't, then you can come play. Oh, who's gone? Who went? Someone just left. Way ahead of you, Keshi. Way ahead of you. Right, I'm going to count back from 10. Oh, you have to dip out, Paulister. No worries. Hope to see you again soon. What's happening with Jacob? There's 09. I'm just going to look up the chat. I can't whisper. If you need to, whispers only pass if they are shorter than 20 characters. So if you're typing a long message, it won't show it. So make sure it's less than 20 characters. Oh, but if you can't, I beg your pardon, you can't play with whispers. I mean, you can, yeah, you need to whisper to the bot, really. Yeah. Right. Count you back from 10. 9. 8. Score in his usual place. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Lingo Maniac in the 11th hour. And we're back at 32, the famous number. Well snuck in there, Lingo Maniac. Okay, just for those of you who haven't played, before round 1 is initiate, you need to answer 5 to survive. You can answer any of the 5 questions. The point values for the questions are given in the corner and they directly correlate to the difficulty. Once you've answered 5, you are frozen out of the round and can't answer any more. So think carefully about how many points you want, because your points are going to be important going forward. 5 to survive, whispering your answers to Persephone's Twitch bot. Don't type it in public chat because it won't be processed and it may populate the prison cells. Wrong game, David. And it may be deleted by a moderator. I think most of us have played before. If you haven't, you'll pick it up as you go, but make sure you've got Persephone's Twitch bot on standby, ready to whisper to her, because she is the thing that processes the answers. If you run out of lives, you are eliminated from the game. If you don't answer, you don't lose a life. If you answer incorrectly, you do lose a life. If you run out of lives, you're eliminated from the game. If it is mathematically impossible for you to escape, you are eliminated from the game. Any 5 of these questions, and bear in mind you've got a 2-point question at the end, which could put you in good stead if you only need 1. Something to think about. Best of luck to all 32 of you. It's time to play the Escape Artist. Round 1 is initiate. No, this is a me question pack, Quizzy Dan. Here's question number 1. Orchid, heliotrope and mauve are all shades of which colour? This is 7 points. (27 out of 32 attempting this question at the early stage of the game. Let's see what you said. It's purple. Purple. Wrong answers from Clive, M3, Abme, Dogfish, DC Simmons, Puzzle Dan, Drahuska, Anasep, and Lingomaniac. You can maybe argue the toss of pink with heliotrope and possibly orchid, but certainly not with mauve. Mauve is very definitely purple. So, unfortunately, if you got that one wrong, if you put yellow, blue, white, pink, blue, green, pink, yellow, or pink, you're going to lose a life. Let's light you up. Everyone else who answered that getting 7 points. Moving right along, question number 2 is worth 8 points. Here it is. Pamplemousse is a French word for which fruit? DNM wants more French. 20 out of 32 attempting this question. Let's see what you said. It's a grapefruit. No, not a watermelon, nor a pineapple, neither. It's a grapefruit. Well done if you got that one right. You got yourself 8 points. If not, you're going to lose a life. Let's light you up. Moving on to question number 3. Difficulty coming down a little bit. This one is worth 4 points. Fingers on buzzers. Here it is. What is the surname of Penn from the magic duo Penn and Teller? .24 out of 32 attempting that one. Let's see what you said. It's Gillette. Gillette with a J. Why is it not condoned that with a G? That should have got through the spell checker. I'm annoyed it hasn't, because I'm inclined to accept that, because that is a phonetic plausibility, which means I've got to manually condone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 answers. Yeah, I'm going to condone all of those because you spelled it with a G. That's fine by me. So Clive, that's fine. Sorry, this will take me just a second. Egg, yes, that's fine. Condone. This is why I needed the condone multiple. Puzzle Dan, yes, fine. Condone. Carver 7th, yes, fine. Condone. Anisep. This was faster with the multiple routine, but it was broken. So condone. Cola. Someone who was a professional question writer would have probably put Gillette with the G in as one of the acceptable answers in the first place, wouldn't he? But there we go. We live and learn. DMM, condone, and WUUTF. Yes, I will condone that. Gillette, the best magician duo you can get. Well done, everyone who attempted that one, getting that one right. Let's reset. No, that's good with that. Let's light you up. Okay, get ready. Here comes question number 4. It's a 9-pointer, a tricky question coming up. Here it is. The double L got through, so the spell checker didn't find it was right. Got you, Egg. The 3 stars, Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka, are collectively and colloquially known by what name? This is a tricky question. out of 32 attempting this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The reason I'm counting is because I heard someone lock in just as the music ended. Let's see what you said. It's Orion's belt. Belt of Orion was one of the answers. Why has that not been condoned? That was definitely... Oh, maybe I put the belt of Orion. The belt of Orion is fine. Orion, though, Matt, I can't condone because Orion is a larger constellation than that. 3 Sisters and Big Dipper, also incorrect. But Egg and Weemers, yes, I will condone those answers for you. Egg, condone. Weemers, condone. Sorry that's not stuck through. That's really embarrassing. I thought I'd put that in as a correct answer, but there we go. Yes, Orion's belt of the 3 stars. Colloquially, I don't believe they are known as the 3 Sisters. They're colloquially known as Orion's belt. Puzzle down. I've never heard of them called the 3 Sisters before. Yeah, I don't believe that they're sisters. They're part of the belt, part of the constellation. Collectively and colloquially, which I think is what I'm going to stick with there. So, if you got that one wrong, you're going to lose a life. Let's light you up. I really didn't expect my question pack to cause this many... Oh, I see. Okay. Right, so at this point, if you're 1 away already at this early stage of the game, Egg, David, 8 Minky, and Quizzy Dan just 1 away, and there's some big points in this first half of the round as well. The next question is only worth 1 point, though, so they may well abstain from this one. Everyone has still got at least 2 lives by the looks of it. Yes, so fingers on buzzers. Here comes question number 5. Who is the current German Chancellor? (17 out of 32, just over half attempting this one. Let's see what you said. Merkel, Angela Merkel is the right answer. Ardenfetz, yes, that is a condonable answer as far as I am concerned. Ardenfetz, condone, you can have your point. Everyone who attempted that one getting that one right. Nicely done. Nicely done? Nicely done. Let's light you up. Quizzy Dan making an early exit from the round. Quizzy Dan, you're now frozen out. You can't answer any more questions in this round, but you are safe and escaped through to round 2. If you're 1 away, you're a light blue. Quite a few of you there. Still just 1 away. If you require all the remaining answers, it means you haven't answered any yet. So J-Box, Spokes, Drahuska, you need to answer all of the remaining questions in order to escape. Otherwise, you will automatically be eliminated. Everyone has still got at least 2 lives. Fingers on buzzers. Here comes question number 6. Which player was disqualified from the US Open this week after inadvertently striking a line judge in the throat? This is worth 3 points. Only 10 out of 31 remaining players attempting this one. Let's see what you said. It was Djokovic, Novak Djokovic. So yes, it's clearly still working the thing because it's accepted both Novak Djokovic and Djokovic. Are people now determined to try and make it so that phonetic plausibility is a thing? I might have to start making spelling count, but for now, Clive, yes, I am going to condone that interesting spelling of Djokovic. Nadal was not the right answer, unfortunately, puzzled Dan, so you're going to lose a life on that one. J-Box, Drahuska and Spokes, it is now impossible for you to escape, so unfortunately for you three, it is the end of the road, and it's lights out. Still only Quizzy Dan having escaped so far. Yellowtail requires all of the answers remaining. Quite a few people are one away. Lots of people there. I'm not going to go through all the names, but if you're flashing now, you need any of the remaining 4 questions in order to escape. Everyone has still got at least 2 lives. Oh no, Puzzle Dan is down to his last life. So tread carefully, Puzzle Dan. Fingers on buzzers. Here comes question number 7. Gerard de Nerval kept which unusual animal as a pet? (14 out of 28, half of the remaining players attempting this one. Let's see what you said. It was a lobster snake with 9 legs. That's a very interesting answer. No, it was a lobster. Monsieur Clicky! There was a very funny clip of QI with Alan Davis and Bill Bailey doing a take on Gerard de Nerval's lobster, Monsieur Clicky. Unfortunately, let me look through the incorrect answers there. There's a gopher, a lion, a snake, a bear, a rhinoceros, a snake with 9 legs. Let's go to a pan. A ferret, a bear, an owl, and a tiger. All of those are incorrect answers, so you're going to lose a life. And at this point, Yellowtail, it is now mathematically impossible for you to escape, so it is the end of the road, and it's lights out. Interesting colours to look at. Quite a few people still one away, attempting that 10-point question, but easier questions 5, 6 and 2 for the last 3. If you require all of them, you've gone orange and you're flashing now. It means you must get all 3 of the remaining questions in order to escape. And if you're down to your last life, M3 times, Matt the Ref, Lingomaniac, Puzzle Dan and Keshi Head, tread very, very carefully. It's Keshi's first time going orange. It's slightly scary, isn't it, Keshi? I wouldn't know. I've never played the game. I want to play the game. I'm going to get to play the game at some point. But for now, question number 8 is worth 5 points. Here it is. The nonsense poem The Owl and the Pussycat was written by which poet? Five seconds. 25 out of 27, just 2 players abstaining from that question. Let's see what you said. It was Lear, Edward Lear, not Lewis Carroll, or Wordsworth, as it happened. Quite a few wrong answers there. Carroll, Wordsworth, T.S. Eliot, Carroll, Goodbye Cruel World, Eliot, C.S. Lewis, C.S. Lewis, Lewis Carroll, Angelo, Dr. Seuss, and Lewis Carroll. All incorrect. Yes, Edward Lear was the answer I wanted. So, unfortunately, if you got that wrong, you're going to lose life. And Puzzle Dan, Matt the Ref, and Lingomaniac, you have actually exhausted your lives in this round. So, for you 3, it is the end of the road, and it's lights out. However, 10 players have now escaped. Clive Legend, Egg Fried Cheese, Dogfish, Many Pink Hats, Cola, Quizzy Dan, Proogs, DMM, Samson, David J. Boticum. Congratulations, you have escaped through to round 2. If you're one away, you are light blue. Got a few of you. Got a choice of 2 questions, 6 or 2, depending which one you want to go for. If you require both of these, we'll flash you now. If you're orange, you require both questions, and if you have 1 life left, we'll flash you now. Bit of a mix. Could go any number of ways. 10 players out of 32 have escaped so far. Best of luck. Here comes question number 9. The Ganges River flows through India and which other country? (12 out of 15 attempting that one. This is a tricky question. Let's see what you said. It's Bangladesh, not Pakistan. Europe, last time I checked, wasn't another country. M3 times, unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. Pakistan, switches off own light, bad luck, Poconuts, not China, McClemson, not India, and not Iran. Well, it does flow through India, Brian, but that unfortunately wasn't the question. A good guess there, DC Simmons, well played. Unfortunately, they're the wrong answers. So, M3 times, Keshi Head, Anasep, McClemson, and WUTF, you have exhausted your lives, and Poconuts, it's impossible for you to escape. So, unfortunately for you 6, it is the end of the road, and it's lights out. "12 players have escaped, with 7 still in live play." Thank you very much for the follow there, Harvey Rice. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good time. If you require this question, we'll flash it now. It's only a 2-pointer, so the odds are in your favour. But if you've only got 1 life, slightly academic, we'll flash you there. For every life you've got left at the end of this round, we will, of course, give you a bonus point. Fingers on buzzers, the very best of luck. Here is question number 10. In which continent is the Suez Canal? All 7 have attempted it. Do they know the answer? Let's see what they said. It's in Africa, not in Asia, not in Europe, not in South America. My inclination was South America before I looked it up, but no, it actually runs down by Egypt. So it's Africa, and unfortunately, Abmi, Ardenfetz, and DC Simmons, you're giving us wrong answers. And unfortunately, it was a question that you required in order to escape. Not the Panama. Easy to mix them up. DC Simmons, Ardenfetz, and Abmi, you've come to the last question of round 1, but for you 3, I'm afraid it is the end of the road, and it is lights out. Which means 16 of you progress through to round number 2. Congratulations to you. Exactly half the pack as it happens. We will give you an extra point for each life you have intact, and that will hopefully stand you in good stead moving into round 2. Let's go there right now. Round 2 is called Sustain. The target is 54. This is set by the highest scoring player from round 1 plus 15. Questions are now worth a flat rate of 5 points, which means even the highest scoring player must get at least 3 questions correct. The highest scoring player from that last round was Weemers on 39, who has set the target at 54. You need to work out how many questions you need to answer correctly at a rate of 5 points per question. As before, you have got 3 lives. If you exhaust your lives, you are eliminated and you are out of the game. Hello, Aussie Cat. If you put yourself in a position where it is mathematically impossible for you to escape, you are eliminated and you are out of the game. If you have lives left at the end, we will give you a bonus 2 points for every life that you have remaining. However, after you escape, you may continue to still answer questions. They're worth a flat rate of 5 points, as you know. However, even if you've escaped, you can still be eliminated in this round if you escape and then lose all your lives. So tread carefully if you've escaped, and maybe weigh up the pros and cons of having a gamble, bearing in mind you get 2 points for every life and 5 points for every correct answer. Those are the rules. Round 2 is Sustain. Fingers on buzzers. Here comes question number 1. Target is 54. Mercutio is a close friend of which lead Shakespearean character? Wow, 15 out of 16. Only 1 player sitting this one out. Let's see what you said. It's Romeo, not Hamlety or Shylock. Unfortunately, Romeo Mercutio is a friend of Romeo from Romeo and Juliet. There's 2 players getting that wrong. Samster and David J. Bodicum, you're going to lose a life. Let's light you up. Quizzy Dan looked like he sat that one out. Still 16 of you in. A couple of players losing a life. Here comes question number 2. Hamley, yeah, like the cigar. A painting by Salvador Dali portrays the temptation of which saint? Only 6 players attempting this one. This is one of my favourite paintings in the world. And fun fact, this is the question that I changed, because this was the one that was going to be the lobster telephone was invented by Edward James and which other surrealist artist, Salvador Dali. But I changed it when I realised David J. Bodicum had the exact same question in his question pack from earlier in the night. The answer, let's have a look and see what you said. St. Anthony, The Temptation of St. Anthony. It's the one with the giant giraffe and St. Anthony holding up a cross like that. It's a gorgeous piece of work. I advise you to check it out. St. Peter, and John the Baptist are all incorrect answers, so I'm afraid Cola, Brian, Prugs, and DMM, you're going to lose a life. Car and Samster, you've got 5 points. Let's light you up. Great painting. Great painting. Fingers on buzzers, gang. Here comes question number 3. In technology, what does the acronym CAD stand for? "13 out of 16 attempting this one, 3 players abstaining." Let's see what he said. Computer aided design. Computer analog device is not close enough, I'm afraid, Brian. I can't accept that answer. You are going to lose a life. Everyone else, you've got your 5 points. Nicely done. Let's light you up. Nobody has escaped yet, but at this point, Weemaz is just 1 away from escaping. 1 correct answer will get you to your target of 54, though bear in mind, of course, you can still continue to answer questions after you've escaped. If you require all of the remaining questions, Brian, just you at the moment, you need to answer all of the remaining questions in order to hit the target. You're also the only player with a single life left. Scary time for you, Brian. Best of luck to you. Here comes question number 4. Colonel Fairfax and Jack Point are characters from which Gilbert and Sullivan opera? No, Samster, not having a go at this one. 8 Minky's having a go. Coda's having a go. Score's having a go. Okay, quite a few people having a go. 5 people in the end. Bit of a curveball there. Let's see what you said. It's a Yeoman of the Guard. Score and many pink hats getting that one right. Pirates of Penzance was the wrong answer, as was the Mikado. So Coda and 8 Minky, you're going to lose a life. And unfortunately, Brian, you have exhausted your lives, which means for you, it is the end of the road. And it's lights out. But to question 5, still just Weemaz. Just a single question away from escaping. No one else requires all, but Coda is down to his last life at this point, so Coda, tread carefully. Fingers on buzzers, here comes question number 5. What was the forename of the eldest child of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert? People wandering into my perfectly laid little heffalump trap here, perhaps. Let's see what you said. It was Victoria. Only the question master himself, David J. Bodicam, finding the right answer here. Yes, although George was, I think, the first king, or it might even have been Edward, actually. The eldest child was Victoria. Victoria, the Princess Royal. She was the eldest child. Of course, she never assumed the throne because male primogeniture was a thing at the time. Yes, Victoria was the correct answer. Well done, David. You've found the right answer there. And you've got your 5 points. Everyone else, you're going to lose a life. And actually, Cola, you have exhausted your lives, which means for you, it is the end of the road. And it's lights out. Still only Weemaz, who's 1 away at this point. Nobody requires all of the remaining questions, but there's a few people with only a single life. Prugs, 8 Minky, Samster, you're down to your last life, so tread carefully. Things on buzzers. Here is question number 6. Which surgical instruments, similar to tongs, are used to aid childbirth? Nine out of 14 attempting this question. Let's see what you said. It's forceps. Yes, absolutely. Forceps was the right answer. Everybody who attempted that, getting that one right. And Weemaz making good on his escape, becoming the first player in this round to escape. Well played. Let's light you up. So Weemaz has now escaped. Of course, he has still got those 3 lives, so he can continue to answer questions if he likes. He gets 2 points for every life he has left intact at the end, but 5 points for every question he gets right from this point onwards. If you want to weigh egg fried cheese and score count, point within both of you, but you are both a single correct answer away from escaping the round. If you require all the remaining questions, Brig Bother and 8 Minky, you need to answer. You can't abstain anymore. You've got to give them a go. And if you've only got 1 life left, Prugs, 8 Minky and Samster, tread carefully because 1 wrong move and out of the game you go. Fingers on buzzers. Here comes question number 7. Which author wrote the novel Dombey and Son? Weema's having a go, despite being the only player to have escaped. And we've got a full house. All 14 players have attempted this question. Let's see what they said. It was Dickens, Charles Dickens, yes. 8Minky, no, you did not. You did not, 8Minky, but of course he needed to attempt that one. And he has not got the right answer. Likewise, Brig Bother. GK Chesterton was not the right answer. Prove it. I cannot prove that, to be fair. I can't prove that. So I guess I should just condone that answer, right, Abe? No, I won't do that. Unfortunately, 8Minky and Brig Bother, it is now mathematically impossible for you to escape. And in the case of 8Minky, you've also exhausted all your lives. So for you two, it's the end of the game and it's lights out. A couple more players joining Weemaz in escaping. Both Egg Fried Cheese and Score Count have made good their escape. Though Weemaz also getting that question right means the score, the threshold has increased by another 5 points. If you're one away, you are light blue. Many Pink Cat, Dogfish, Samsa and David J. Bodicum. Any of the next 3 answers correct will see you escaping. Nobody requires all of them, so everyone else needs at least 2. Prugs and Samster, though, you have only got a single life left still, so tread carefully as before. Fingers on buzzers, here is question number 8. Which German composer wrote the cycle of 4 operas called The Ring of the Nibelung? Nibelung. 8 of you in. $11 out of 12 of you attempting this one. Just Score Count sitting this one out, happy with his escape, not bothering to try it. Let's see what he said. It's Wagner, Richard Wagner, yes, more colloquially known as the Ring Cycle, which I've not listened to. I've listened to a couple of pieces. I had to listen to a couple during my student days. It's quite heavy going, but yes, no dramas there. Everybody getting that one right. Let's light you up. So at this point, quite a few players one away. Clive, Carr, Quizzy Dan, Prugs, DMM. Either of the next 2 questions will see you make good on your escape. And everyone else has already escaped. 7 players have escaped. There are 12 of you left. Fingers on buzzers. Here comes question. Don't press answer, Ben. Press question. Here comes question number 9. In the fairy tale Cinderella, what gets turned into the carriage? All the potential escapees have answered this question. All of the players who are still in the game have attempted to answer this question. Let's see what they said. What's the pumpkin? Yes, indeed, the pumpkin or the squash. Egg Fried Cheese skating on thin ice and deciding to put an exclamation mark on the end, knowing full well I wouldn't condone it if it flagged as incorrect because he's had fair warning about that. All of you getting that one right. Nicely done. You have all escaped. Let's light you up. This does not mean that this is an open question for the chat, because of course the players can still attempt to answer this one. You've all escaped, but Samster and Prugs, you're on your last life. So if you get this one wrong, it's not happened before, but if you attempt it and get it wrong, you will be eliminated despite having escaped. So you might want to play it safe and keep those 2 bonus points, or you might want to give it a go and try and get 5. Fingers on buzzers, if you like. Here comes question number 10. Brian O'Connor, Dom Toretto, and Letty Ortiz are all main characters in which film franchise? A few people having a go, including Samster, who's an at-risk player. 8 out of 12 giving this one a go, trying to maximise their scores for the final. Let's see what they said. The Fast and the Furious was the answer. Clive Legend, the only player there to get that one wrong, going with the Terminator, but it doesn't affect his score much. Worth a punt to try and get 5 points. He's only going to lose 2 from his bonus. Everyone else getting the correct answer. Nicely done, Fast and Furious. What's the answer? Let's light you up. So, you started at 32, you dropped to 16, you have dropped again to 12. 12 of you will be going through to the final to try and prove yourselves to become the escape artist for this second game. For every life that you have left now, I will give you a bonus 2 points, and that will hopefully set you up for the final. Let's go there now. Thank you very much for the follow, Stormy Waves 42. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. Round 3 is called Survive. You have accrued points, but can you keep them? In round 3, There is no hard and fast points for answers, but you can only lose points or keep your current score. In round 3, you'll have 15 seconds to submit an answer. The first person to submit a correct answer will start a countdown. The countdown will be all of your points. Your points will tick down for 15 seconds, up to a maximum of 10 points. That's 1 point for every second and a half until you get it right. So, yeah. Be the first to answer, you keep your points, and you start the clock on everyone else. Wrong answers do not start the clock. Your lives work slightly differently in this round. You cannot be eliminated for losing all of your lives. However, your lives work as reloads. If you attempt a question and get it wrong, you will instantly be pinged by the bot. The bot will tell you you have got it wrong. You can attempt to re-answer the question even after you've got it wrong. For every re-attempt, whether right or wrong, you will lose a life. You're not eliminated if you run out of lives, but it does mean that every answer from that point on will have to be your first answer only. Remember, only right answers start the clock, and for every re-attempt after your first answer, you lose a life. Okay? But you can't be eliminated for losing life, so it's just an extra tactic to think about. So keep your eye on the chat. If you've got it wrong, the bot will immediately ping you. You can resubmit an answer. Hopefully everybody understands the rules. First person to answer starts a clock on everybody else, and the only way to stop it is to get it right. Best of luck to all of you. Oh, and I should say, if your score hits 0, which I haven't said before, you are eliminated from the game. If nobody answers the question, then you all lose the default penalty of 10 points. Very best of luck to all 12 of you. Here comes question number 1. In the children's TV series Sooty, what is the name of Sooty's squeaky dog friend? Clive has started the clock. Many pink hats and dogfish, the only players who haven't answered yet. Not getting an answer in, everybody else getting the correct answer, which was, of course, sweep. Let's light you up. Advantage at the moment, I should have said that at the beginning, is with Weemuz. It was with Weemuz, it is still with Weemuz, though the gap has closed down. Egg fried cheese just 2 points behind. Fingers on buzzers. Here's question number 2. What is the forename of the founder of the Williams Formula 1 motor racing team? Car the 7th has started the clock. Sam's to Clive, Quizzy Dan, you can have another go if you like. It's Frank. Sir Frank. It's Francis, actually, but he's colloquially known as Frank. And Frank was accepted. Sir Frank Williams. Proogs, Quizzy Dan, Many Pink Cats, Samster, and Clive of Legend getting that one wrong. Everyone else getting it right. Let's light you up. Weemuz and Egg Fried Cheese now sharing their advantage on 73 points apiece. Fingers on buzzers. Here comes question number 3. Roughly 2 miles long, what is the name of Venice's main canal? Clive has started the clock. David is wrong but can re-attempt, as can Score Count and Egg and Quizzy Dan and DMM. It's the Grand Canal, but this is the first time I'm going to have to do a little bit of jiggery-pokery with the scores, because I can see DMM put Grand, which I would probably condone, Score Count put Grand, Egg Fried Cheese put Grand, and Quizzy Dan put Grand, and I'm going to condone those answers, and so I need to do it in a slightly different way. Let's see, let's go DMM first. DMM submitted Grand when his points were on 65 and his lives were on 3. DMM, 0.65, lives 3, saying Grand. DMM, let's condone that. And hopefully by magic DMM, you'll go back up to the point where you submitted the correct answer that didn't get flagged. Score Count. This is a real oversight on my account, so apologies for this. Score Count put the correct answer, Grand, with 54 points and 3 lives remaining. So Score Count, we can condone that. Move back up to 54. Egg Fried Cheese put Grand when he had 71 points and 3 lives. So Egg Fried Cheese, we can condone that. Rialto is not the correct answer, but Quizzy Dan put Grand when he had 51 points and 2 lives. because you put Rialto first, so that is going to cost you a life, Quizzy Dan, but I can put you back to what you should be on, 51 and 2 lives. Proogs went... I've only got a record of Rialto, Proogs. I don't have a record of a second submission, and the fact that you've still got 3 lives suggests you didn't resubmit that answer, meaning it was probably out of time. Apologies for the slight moment there, but magically I've put you all back to what you should be on. Rialto is not the right answer. Let's light you up. So, Quizzy Dan has only got 2 reloads left, everyone else has still got 3. Fingers on buzzers. Advantage is with Egg Fried Cheese now with 71, just by a single point ahead of Weemers. Here comes question number 4. Oh, before I go, question number 4. The drain rate. Drain rate's gone up to 1 point per second now, with a maximum penalty of 15 if nobody answers. Here is question number 4. What is the medical name for the collarbone? Quizzy Dan has started the clock. Just watching the wrong answers come up here. This is fascinating to see. We've got sternums and scapulars are the 2 wrong answers, but the answer I was after was clavicle, which is the medical name for the collarbone. Quizzy Dan starting the clock there. Quite a few players getting that right, but Clive, Cart, David, Proogs and DMM getting that one wrong. Green but blank. What's green but blank? Huh. Eggs got 69. Nice. Many pink hats, green but blank. Can you... Oh, yeah. You put scapula first, many pink hats, which caused you to lose a life at 41 points. You then must have resubmitted. Not sure. That's one of the weird fringe case bugs that's coming up. I don't know when you resubmitted. Presumably quite close to the end of the countdown. I imagine it's something to do with that. But you did get the right answer, which is why you've gone green. But you got it wrong first, which is why you've lost a life. So yeah, that'll be it. It'll just be to do with how close to the end it is. Thank you for your patience. There are still a couple of little things that need ironing out. Let's light you up. Egg Fried Cheese now has the advantage with a very gratifying 69 points, closely followed by Weemers on 65. Fingers on buzzers. Here comes question number 5. The Adi Granth is the holy book of which religion? Quizzy Dan has started the clock. Keep going, Car. There you go. Car going through Hinduism and then Buddhism before finally arriving at Sikhism. Score count going Hinduism, then Sikhism, but flagging him wrong for some reason. Have you spelled it wrong? S-I-H... Yes, S-I-K is the spelling score, but I will condone that. 29 points and 2 lives. Points to restore to 29, lives to restore to 2. Score count. Sake of 3 points, but probably worth it, right, Score? Let's condone that. Okay, let's light you back up. Egg Fried Cheese pressing his advantage on 64. Proves dropping into dangerous territory with 19 at this point, but he has still got all 3 lives intact. All 3 refires, I should say. Fingers on buzzers. Here's question number 6. Which 1971 children's film featured Angela Lansbury as a student of witchcraft? Samster has broken the deadlock and started the clock. Three players yet to answer, and Clive can refire if he wants. Score getting the answer, and eventually Hocus Pocus was not the right answer, and No Clue Eep was also not the right answer. Yeah, Bedknobs and Broomsticks was the answer we wanted there. Wrong answers that came in, Hocus Pocus and No Clue. So let's light you back up. Egg Fried Cheese still with the advantage on 59. Score count slipping into dangerous territory along with Carl the 7th, both on 15. Prug still on 18. Dangerous. Clive is on 14. All very dangerous here as the point drain rate increases to 1 point per 0.75 seconds with a maximum of 20 being your loss if no one answers. So, clock's going to start to count down very, very fast at this rate. Fingers on buzzers. Here's question number 7. Which English footballer played for Leicester City, Everton, Tottenham Hotspur and England without ever receiving a yellow card? Samster has broken the deadlock. Answers are coming in. Score, Many Pink Hats. Scores out. Many Pink Hats is out as well, counting right down to the second. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end of the game. It was Lineker. Gary Lineker was the right answer. Samster breaking the deadlock there. Unfortunately, Many Pink Hats and Score Count, you have come an awfully long way, but for you guys, it is the end of the road. And it's lights out. Carr is in danger with 12, Prues with 13, Clive with 14, Dogfish with 17. The advantage is still with Egg Fried Cheese on 53, but as we saw in the last game, that doesn't mean a thing. And DMM is still there with 43, as is Weemuz with 43, as is Quizzy Dan with 44. So much to play for. Question number 8, point drain rate is still 1 point per 0.75 seconds. Fingers on buzzers. Here's question number 8. Signed in Berlin on September 27, 1940, what is the name of the agreement that brought together Germany, Italy and Japan during the Second World War? Dogfish has broken the deadlock. I feel I'm going to have to do at least one correction here because I've got the answer after with the tripartite pact. Answers I've got are Paris Accord, tripartite Axis, surrender, tripartite from Samster, which I'm umming and ahhing about, alliance from Prues, Berlin Pact from Weemuz, tripart with a question mark from Egg, which I'm not going to condone, based on the fact that I've warned him about putting question marks on his answer and it's not a full answer. Warsaw Pact and the Munich Accord. Tripartite is the only one there which has got the full word of the word I was looking for. Can I get... I can't really get a VAR check from the mods because one of them's in play. What's the question? Signed in Berlin. What is the name of the agreement? It was the tripartite. This was the one that had the most the most optional answers on it. I think I'm going to go with it, Samster. I'm going to go with that because the word in question was there. 36 points and 3 lives when you submitted tripartite. So 36 points, 3 lives. Samster, let's condone that. Yeah. Tripart though, Egg, and with a question mark I'm not going to condone, which might seem double standard, possibly, but you didn't have tripartite and you put a question mark. Right, at the end of that though, Prues is out of points and Clive is out of points. For you two, you've come this far, you've done very, very well, but unfortunately it is the end of the road. And it's lights. Check Weemuz too. Weemuz put the Berlin Pact. Oh! Thank you for catching that, Cola, because I didn't spot that. I must have overlooked that. And if I've given Samson tripartite, I've got to give Weemuz tripartite 43 and 3 lives. 43, not 4, 43 and 3 Weemuz. Weemuz also put tripartite. Thank you for pointing that. I'm just going to double check that I didn't miss anyone else putting that. It was just Samster and Weemuz. Yeah. So Weemuz, you can have those points back as well. That's going to help you out. And that onus is on me for not being more thorough with the question. Back up to 43. Clive and Prugs, though, for you guys, it is the end of the road, and it's lights out. Advantage has swung back to Weemuz with 43, and he's still got 3 refires left. Egg Fried Cheese is on 34, Samson's on 36, Dogfish 17, Quizzy down 25, DMM 24, Car on 12. No refires for Car and only 1 for David J. Bodycum. Quizzy down has got 2, everyone else has got all 3. Fingers on buzzers. Here comes question number 9. Which Mediterranean country's flag shows a gold map of an island with 2 olive branches underneath? Quizzy down has broken the deadlock. Weemuz is wrong. And now he's right. Samster getting a correct answer in at the end. Greece and Malta is what you offered the first time, which are both wrong. The answer was Cyprus. Quizzy Dan starting that battle there. Let's light you back up. Well, this is fascinating. We've not had this many players. There are still 8 of you alive at the final question. So as you know, at the final question, when the 15-second countdown ends, if nobody has answered, then your points will start counting down as though somebody has at 0.5, 1 point per 0.5 seconds. However, your points won't stop after 15 seconds. They will keep going until they hit 0. You have still got your lives to play with, but only a correct answer will stop the clock, and whoever has got the most points at the end will be the escape artist. If anyone escapes with any points, you will be sub-escapees, which is a little bragging right in its own. But there can only be 1 escape artist, unless there's a time, in which case there'll be 2, and it should do that. Best of luck to the remaining 8 players. Here is question number 10. Which 4-letter word from the Aramaic for father could collectively describe a band whose greatest hits album was entitled Gold? DMM has broken the deadlock. It should automatically count Egg's points down to 0 very quick. Oh no, because he still had live test and hadn't answered, which is why. Abba was the answer. Yes, from the Aramaic meaning father. Abba Gold. Yes, throw a curveball in by having an easier question at the end. Abba Gold is Abba's greatest hits. Egg and Car, you couldn't find the right answer in time, so unfortunately for you two, it is the end of the road, and it's lights out. So despite DMM breaking the deadlock on that last question, he wasn't quick enough to freeze out Quizzy Dan, who finishes 1 point ahead. But that shouldn't be taken away from the 6 or the 5 other players who have escaped from the game. Dogfish on 14, Weemaz on 18, Samster on 5, David on 3, DMM on 23. Congratulations to you 5, you have survived the game. But the winner of the second game tonight, our escape artist for game number 2, the big guy with the raid, the escape artist is Quizzy Dan. So everyone else gets a nice light blue, but we still get the zoom on Quizzy Dan. Congratulations to you, my friend. You have won the escape artist. And that is it from me for tonight. I was going to finish at 10. This game takes much longer than I thought it would, and it's now 11, and I'm getting out of my bad routines. But thank you very much for the subscription to Quizzy Dan from Pokernuts. That's enormously kind of you. Thank you very much, and welcome to the family, Quizzy Dan. And congratulations on your victory. That's it. That's the end of the stream for tonight. Sorry the code was a bit short because I started late and then we had an interesting incident in the middle where it just sort of stopped on a question, but I'm going to come back to that. Thank you for your forbearance with that slightly factually questionable question, which we will pick that up once I've had a chance to make changes to that build. Thank you very much for all the love that's coming up in the stream. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've had a good time. It's been enormous fun. Thank you. Special thanks to David J. Bodycomb for that question pack, and to all the question writers for the code as well. It's really great of you, and it makes everything so much easier for me if there's some stuff that's been outsourced. So thank you for that. Stuff to look out for in the rest of the week. On tomorrow, Ash is back. One versus 100. Let's go up to the server. Oh, he says he doesn't know yet. Tipster seemed to think it was 1 versus 100, so I've put that in my What's On Ash. My What's On thing, Ash. Apparently it's 1 versus 100, but it might not be. Go and check out Ash's stream if you want to see what Ash is up to tomorrow. That's 8 o'clock BST. Thursday, you've got Chase VGM with Quetz at 1 p.m. Oh, that was last week. I see. So it probably won't be 1 versus 100, but do go check Ash out for what's happening there. Quetz has got the Chase VGM at 1 p.m. And of course, Quizzy Dan, our incumbent victor, has got his bingo on Thursday night at 8, so do go check that out as well. And I've got Duel and Outright down for Friday the 11th of September with Ash, which I don't know if it's a thing, but again, Friday at 8 with Ash. Also, Ash's Unity 101 workshop, which continues at 4 p.m. on Saturday. Do go check that out. I'm back this Saturday at 8 p.m. with the last of the heats of Google That. It's your last chance to get into the final, which takes place a week on Saturday with cash prizes. So if you haven't had a chance to get into the top 12 yet, this weekend is your last chance, and we're very grateful to Ash, who's actually writing a guest question pack for it. So make sure you pop along for that. Quetz is back with Chase VGM at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning. Tipser is in with the Pinnacle Lara on Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Matt's back with Take It or Leave It, assuming he doesn't get taken up for reffing duties again, which I know has been a fact the last few weeks. But that's Monday, the 14th of September at 7:30. Matt is back. Something just to add as a side note, on Sunday at 6, I'm going to be talking to the Messy Coder, which is I think it's / the Messy Coder. I think it's there, about various projects, and I'll probably mention game stuff and Twitch things that we do, game shows and stuff that we do here. So I'm just going to be having a casual sort of chat / interview with him. That's on Sunday at 6. So do come and support me for that if you're around and you fancy something a bit more casual. And then I'm back next Tuesday with what I've scheduled as a double Fortunes double bill, Family Fortunes and Wheel of Fortune. I'm going to dig out some old classics for the end of the season, because the season has only got 3 more episodes, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, and that's it for season 1. And then I'm pressing the reset button, moving on to season 2, so which will be very exciting to look forward to. So double Fortunes next Tuesday, Google that on Saturday, and then Google that and end of season party a week on Saturday, where there will be very exciting things happening, and I implore you to be there. Of course, all of this and more can be found from the Discord channel right there, so do go join us if you're not there already. It'd be lovely to have you. Looks like the bot is awake and accepting new members, so yeah, come along and say hi. Until next time, congratulations again to Quizzy Dan, well done to DMM on the last game, and to our competitors of the code, thank you again to all my question writers, particularly to David for that first question pack tonight. Until next time, I will probably be around in some of the streams this week, but if not, I will see you on Saturday 8 p.m. for the last of the heats of Google That, and I will see you there. Until then, I have been Royal Flush, you have been watching The Escape Artist and the Code, and until next time, peace out, take care, and I'll see you soon. Good night. I pressed the wrong button. Let me try that again. Good night.